repurposed freighter drifts through space. As you stare out at the star-flecked void, another ship comes in. Wait, is this sci-fi? I thought we agreed on a World War II campaign. Oh. Did we? That's cool. I can pivot. The smell of smoke curdles in your nostrils. Hold up, I thought we were prepping for a zombie apocalypse campaign. Alright, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700. Humanity's elite fled to other planets long ago, taking with them all forms of advanced technology. Earth survivors scrape by with historic tools as weird phenomena plague abandoned nuclear sites. Witnesses report seeing glowing lights and the dead rising from their graves. And amidst the chaos, three strangers will meet in a dim bar. A veteran zombie slayer, a disgraced general out for revenge, and a space mercenary sent to investigate the power plants. Now describe your characters. How did you do that? Cool. I have the right tools for the job.
Enjoy your game. Nothing wrong with that. It was really good. I lost my voice again. Didn't get concrete. I just lost my voice and I ran myself down into the ground because I could not sleep. That was stupid, but I just couldn't sleep, you know. But I didn't overdrink and I didn't go crazy and I had a lot of fun. Really good time. Nice. Is there a hype train already? Wow.
A story once spoken is ageless. The dungeon imagined without end. The curious are the ones most courageous. The tree that endures has to bend. From stillness the mad mage is stirring. From countless voices the castle takes shape. Zagig will test the enduring. Those unlucky will never escape.
Resubs. Hey Mike, what's up? It's weird, all those resubs and like the hype train and pop. How are you?
Yeah.
You guys went back Saturday night, right?
Yeah, I've been back a while.
Anyone get sick?
Nope.
That's good. I lost my voice, but I didn't get sick.
I went to a Blues game yesterday.
Oh, nice. Did they win that? They were
3-0.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. What's up, Brett? Awesome, man. Oh, here comes Les.
Hello, all.
Hey, hey. Yes. Battletech Max, man. Hopefully Anna's okay. Set up. Giveaway real quick here.
Hello, everyone in chat.
Hey. I think I'm good here. I'm just double checking. Here comes Anna. What button next?
POV, I had 30 minutes.
Yep. that was
POV,
the right one.
I had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed
Hello,
up,
Anna.
and I was totally
Sorry, I'm late.
unprepared.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not
I
late.
grabbed my ready set encounter
good.
box, and boom,
How you
everything
feeling?
I needed for an epic
Better.
session. Adventure hooks, map tiles, loot tables, stat blocks, and miniatures, all
Hey,
ready
Mandy.
to go. My players
Thanks,
still
Greg.
think I spent
For some
hours
reason, the hype
planning
train
our
thing isn't
Great
popping
Dragon
today.
encounter.
Who knows what they
If you're a
did?
busy dungeon master,
Well,
Well,
get
haven't
ready
you
set
hyped
encounter
enough
live
doing
now on
GaryCon?
Kickstarter.
You don't need more hype right now.
Rail the hype train.
POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign
Hello,
group
Les.
showed up, and I was
Hey,
totally
how's it going?
unprepared. I grabbed my ready set
Reasonably
encounter
well,
box, and
and
boom,
I would
everything
say
I needed
good,
for an
yep,
epic
mhm.
session.
Feeling better, I
Adventure
hope?
hooks, map
Oh,
tiles,
yes.
loot
Good,
tables,
good.
stat blocks, and miniatures, all
That
ready
was
to
a
go.
bummer
My
you were
players
sick
still
at
think I spent
GaryCon,
hours
like, right
planning
at the
our
Oh
Great
yeah,
Dragon
and I
encounter.
also took
If you're
I
a
had
busy dungeon master,
antiviral
get ready set encounter
medication
live
because
now
I
on
get cold
Kickstarter.
sores and stuff, so I hammered it that way, so you get really bad for a short while and then better again. So yeah.
Ugh.
But in a way, it was better to get it during the convention than when I was traveling home, because that happened another time. I got it on the way, so I had to
Right.
suffer through the worst through the plane. Now I was half recovered, or at least starting to get recovered when I was on my way home, so that was easier. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, Brett, you kind of skipped it. I mean, I lost my voice and just was in rundown, right? I didn't really get sick.
No, Jade, you didn't lose your voice. You got some voice from down there somewhere. That was the coolest ever. Yep. You gained another one. Yep. I don't know where you got it, but it was the yep.
You're true.
It was very special. Yep.
1 second here. I want to check something.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeremy. Yep, it's better. Yep.
I played in Jeremy's game.
Oh, well, I hope I didn't give it to her. There was 3 other people at HQ and that I talked to that got the same
Hey, Amanda.
stuff I did. Yeah, so hopefully she didn't get it that bad. Uh-oh. So Curtis said, oh, I'm sorry I didn't. Maybe he gave it to me. I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. I probably gave it to half a dozen people. Yep.
No, there it goes. That
Yep.
was weird. I don't know what was happening. That was awesome.
I started out sick, but by the time I got home, I felt great.
Oh, good. Yep.
Kind of the opposite.
That's weird.
Yep. I felt great until like Thursday evening. Then it was terrible. Yep.
It's man.
And it came quickly. I felt good, and then 2 hours later, I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and I was, yeah, it felt terrible. Yep. No, I guess so. Yeah, there was several others who got it. So, yep.
I think I ate my way out of any of the blahs that I felt.
Yep. But I
That's
think
the way doing
I'm
it.
sitting at home. I don't socialize enough, so I need to make sure that I expose myself to all the bugs before I go. So
Who
I should
told you
probably go
that?
out and
Josh?
visit. No, I figured out that myself because I
Okay.
know that I don't meet enough people in between. So I need
Oh.
to, like a month before or something, I need to go and visit a lot of public restrooms, and I don't know, need to do whatever there to catch as many bugs as possible to get through hell and then be ready for convention. If I go to convention now, I will be fine because now I've kind of gotten through the germs. So I need to every month or so I need to go and do a germ, yeah, like I need to get my immune system on guard again.
Can I make a recommendation?
Yep.
at least once a month, voyage into town and share the latest chapter of your autobiography, The Cloistered Cartographer.
Okay, there you go. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Hello. I'm going with the style I did at GaryCon, where I'm covering my logo because, for now, why not? Just be comfortable. So
I just grabbed a random T-shirt out of my shelf. I think it's
here.
Fat Goblin Games. I think it was.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was.
Excellent.
Yep.
For the follow. So how do I say this? If you don't know the news, you were hiding or living under a rock somewhere.
And Jay literally is the news this week.
Oh, come on,
I'm
you
part
were
of
the
it
news
too. No, yeah, I was mentioned too. So yeah,
you were mentioned before me. You were the
Oh
news
yeah, I was one sentence earlier than you. So okay, then
so
I give you that. Yep.
And we'll talk about all that. So I figured this would be, Sparky put some,
Sparky, that's yeah.
Sparky put up a nice post, really nice post on Twitter. It was like multiple. Yeah, I really appreciated it.
I should have posted today, but my dog Chico has a little bit of a health emergency. His ears and stuff are not doing well, so I had to take him to the vet and get an appointment and stuff. So yeah. Now it just needed a little bit. So yeah.
Here, hold on.
And then unpack.
All right. So
he's not reasonably okay, so he will be okay until a vet can see him in a few days. Yeah.
Real quick, there is I will no game tomorrow night for 2 reasons. I need a break mentally. Plus, I got tickets to the opening day of Phillies game, so there you go. So kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. But let's shout this out quickly right at the beginning here. Saturday. Oh God, of course. We got desktop 2. And I resaved that too. That was weird. There we go. There you go, Amanda. Number 1177, the new group Into the High Seas. Tiffany, Myriad, Show Me the Dice, Amanda, Bella Steadley, Cherry Blossom, all in there ready to roll. And that'll be at 11 a.m. Saturday. So after tonight, that'll be the next game. And then we'll have a gathering on Sunday night. Probably go over a lot more GaryCon stuff on Saturday than tonight. But we'll go over some things tonight here. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. So we're going to have guests coming in and out, hopefully. We got Mike and Anna and myself, and everyone knows Oblivion Seeker Les, who comes onto a lot of shows that are deep lore. Well, he's on because Les is also part of the Melf team, and we'll talk about that. So, and we'll have some other ones coming on. I think Lee's doesn't feel great. Lee Scheidel. So Savage Marriage, he won't be on. But I think everyone else is coming. Everyone else is coming on at one point. So yes. And I meant everyone. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Some things I want to share. Look at this. Did you get this too, Anna?
What the heck is that?
That is this GaryCon leather DM screen I got.
No. You exactly. You pay for that. I don't. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Is that the same kind of screen they used at Terra Gygax?
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah, it'll kill you.
I was taken aback when I saw that because I don't use a DM screen when I run games at home. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is great. I can actually set my stuff down.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's got double flaps in this thing. So, wow. All right.
Cool.
That's one. All right. 2, Amanda here. I'm going to talk this. This is for you. There you go. There's the custom set for with the tower.
I didn't earn my dice set for Tower of Gygax. I got the T-shirt, but I feel ashamed enough getting that. So yeah. But I'll promise Curtis and Brett, next year I'll earn it back because I have ideas for next year. So we need to talk. Yeah.
So I will have shame if my wife finds out what the meaning of this is.
I think she will figure that out without that. Yeah, she will see it in your credit card bill. Yeah.
Right. At the auction, you get this if you do an auction, win an auction, and it's $500 or more for one item. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was my donation.
Yep.
So. Yeah. So the tower dice came out so good. Yes, I know, and I got
Yes,
a
they
set.
did.
I got two
Yep.
sets, one for myself and one for Amanda. So
Well, thank you, Brett. Yep.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get them, Christian, but thank you very much. So, oh, I was the one, and I don't have it. Jeremy Astrolier has it. Don't open that box, Jeremy, if you haven't shipped it yet. But all my terrain, and I have a box of special stuff, including my Prog Core limited edition book from Todd Stashwick, and that. So I got the signed Ed Greenwood book with the extra chapter in it, with the making of Archmage. That Elminster making of an Archmage book. So yeah, I got that. So that's what I won. Yep. And then our auction for our game with Ed, Tiffany, and 4 people, they went for $800 or $1,000. I don't remember how much. That was nice. The whole thing was like $125,000, $126,000. So yeah, it was good. All right. So tonight we're going to go over the lore that exists for Melf now, right? So that we can prepare for this down the road, right? And the Melf Guide to Greyhawk announcement here. I put to the EN World one because it's kind of ironic and funny. So cool. Whenever, Jeremy, whenever you can ship them, that would be great. So my Ed book's in one of the 3 boxes. Yeah, no rush.
I really like the troll in that image. Looks awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you don't know and you've been living under a rock, let's just go over this real quick. I don't want to be, but
I have to one kind
right.
of bad or kind of complaint to the web editors or whatever designer at Ian World. Their images are often stretched one
Yeah,
way or the other, usually this way.
right.
Please don't do that. It looks awful.
They're not gonna listen.
That image looks that's the way it's supposed to look like in the thumbnail for the video. And then scroll up and you can see whoever did that up there did a lousy job. So people that do websites, please don't screw things up like that. It
So
looks
wait a minute,
terrible.
Mike, you got killed in 3 rounds at Tower of Gygax.
Yeah, maybe I did intentionally. I don't know.
Oh, you committed suicide in
That
TOG?
that's the story I'm going with.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah.
then I just spent the rest of the day drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. So this is a discussion with Dan Ayub and Luke Gygax. Let's just scroll down a little bit because let's get it out of the way early on. Luke's talking about, stuff, and then he comes down. Here's the paragraph we're going to see here, and he's like, all these places are seminal memories for me. Getting a chance to put my stamp or my input, return to Greyhawk, and kind of keep the Gygax of Greyhawk. Really, I said yes, let's do this. Is there any chance? I was like, yes. There's a big chance. Let's do this thing. All right. So there's a huge community that loves Greyhawk. So I was getting together with some of the folks, Anna Meyer, who does all the maps, that sort of stuff, Jay Scott, and a few others. I was about to doing a unofficial Melf Guide and putting it there. And so we're working on that, and we're looking to put it out officially for Wizards of the Coast, which would be awesome. I love that idea. So there you go. So what happened was finally turned into reality after a year behind the scenes of stuff going on. We kind of hinted at here and there, So, well, here's a funny sidebar story. Anna looks like crap. Was it Sunday morning, Anna? You're in the club, right? I thought this was great. I'm like, how you doing and all? Anna walks by me and just says, I'm feeling all right, or whatever. And she walks out. She looks at me and goes, by the way, we made it. We made it to the big leagues.
Yeah, I've watched that between I went to the bathroom and threw up and then back again and continued to watch the video.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
so it was kind of a,
Yeah.
that was kind of the peak and the low at the same time. Yep.
So this is what we've been hiding for so long. It's been behind the scenes. Les has been part of it the whole time.
Well,
Along with
we've
some other
been bad
people.
at hiding this. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, now we can officially say it. And I got carte
Yeah.
blanche by one of the group people to, within reason, to promote this in a positive way. So you're going to be hearing me talk about it a lot. Okay. So we're going to be pushing this out. So, but with that, all right, I got those 2 up now. Oh, let me switch this up a bit. So Les, the lore is not deep here, right?
It probably is, but not on the public end. Not in terms of what we know.
Right.
Luke, I know, has some great stories,
Right.
but and there are portions of apparently their adventure of Melf's adventures that appear in some of the Gord novels.
Right.
So,
And you know
Oh yeah,
them
the
more
Gord
than me,
novels
so yeah.
mentions Melf makes like little appearances at the
yeah, in the
places.
particularly in the second novel, Artifact of Evil, he plays a pretty vital role.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also in one of the short stories.
Yep.
Well, his sidekick is, yeah.
So what we're gonna do is the best compilation of all of this is right here. David Leonard's Greyhawk Musings, 2 parts. Mike even commented. I saw you commented on this back when it was done a couple of years ago on part 2. Greyhawk Mike did. And so, before I get there on that, let's
More Melf than I ever knew existed.
more. Yes.
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 Yeah.
Some of it's conjecture combined with actual published source. Okay.
Yeah. But he did a great job going over this.
He did, and this is
the work on it.
Rob, hope you had a great time with us all out there. It was a blast. So let me start shouting some people out that I've missed here on my brain.
What I like about Greyhawk is there is a myriad of topics within the greater, overarching story, and something like Melf can completely go under my radar. I can know everything about 1,000 things in Greyhawk and know nothing about some things.
Yeah, and then then you read some, and then that opens up another Pandora's box, and so on and so forth.
You go down that rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Christian, that is announcement 2. I'll save that one for later. I have a second big announcement. So besides the Melf one. All right, real quick, the giveaways. It's a Troller Game $25 gift certificate, but I have one of these left that the Kafka archive did for to give away at GaryCon. So a lot of streamers got them, dignitaries, people in the community got one of these. So I have one left, and so they're kind enough to let me auction this off on the stream. So that way the community has an access to this to see one. This is available. If someone has the link, please link it on for where Troy.
Oh damn! I forgot.
Has
it should. Yeah, I will be. It will be on my website later after this show.
Okay,
so,
it'll be on Anna's too
as well.
All
yeah,
right.
and I think it's already on Cannibal's site. But Troy sent me one, and I forgot about it, so I should have fixed that one. That was I told him that
so this
I
is
should
the
have
fifth
fixed
one,
it. So yeah.
That they did, and a lot of really great people. Did a lot to get this out. If you go inside cover, let's see here. You got let's see here. Arthur Clark is editor. You got art director William Henry Dvorak. You got Lee doing the graphic design, just like Lee, what's going to be doing it for our Melf project too. Cover illustrator and interiors Del Tiglier. I think I said that right. Colorist Ozzy, and of course Troy Cannibal Alaman did a lot of work for this, so everyone there should get a ton of credit for everything that they have done for this. It's the 5th book in the Kafka archive. We have the true legend coming on right now too, so we're gonna get sidetracked right off the bat here. Mr. Andrew Scott Perry himself. Andrew, what's up? He's connecting the audio. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, Andrew.
Gentlemen, ladies.
We can hear you, yes.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm shrinking.
Uh-oh. You got it too.
You under the weather, Andrew?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
it
you
hit
have
me
it.
like an avalanche yesterday.
Yeah, you have the plague I had during the convention. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The good news is it's a nice way to lose weight, though.
Oh, yeah. I've lost probably
gosh.
10 pounds. At least 10 pounds. Yeah.
Stay on
I'm
for
all
only a
about
few
that.
minutes and then go back to sleep, man. So
That's exactly what I'm doing. I just wanted to touch
Yeah.
base and see how it can help.
Mhm.
Well, so Andrew's the one that kind of has given me carte blanche to positively promote what we're going to be doing. Correct? We're going to be out there. We're going to hit it hard, and we're going to make sure that the community is all hyped up for this, but all in a positive way. We're not going to do anything negative.
Well, this is an unprecedented access granted by Wizards to produce content that's never been done before by the people who actually know 100% what Greyhawk means to the community and what the components of it are. Dan has 100% thrown his support to this team and is very much excited with what we're going to be doing. And that's just never happened before. And this is a really exciting milestone for us.
Absolutely. It's like surreal. You know?
Well, I mean, a lot of people have struggled with, where the roles have been on who's been producing what. And this is going to be a powerful change. And I think there is real interest in providing some of the legacy aspects of Dungeons and Dragons that people ask about, but it also allows an entire new generation, generations plural, to have access to the history of the game, as well as many, many new things that are being created in a way that is both exciting and meaningful. It's easy to make stuff. It's hard to make good stuff. It's extremely hard to make great stuff. And the people who are involved in this are being brought together to provide a real look into what is essential to Greyhawk. And that's exciting. Just there's never been anything like this, at least not in 40 years. Other than the last thing Jim Ward produced, that's the last book that really had an at bat in the Orange Spine. And this has all of the potential and more to be that and more, which is incredibly exciting and very meaningful to a community that's been waiting for that and to a community that wants to be introduced to that. So that's what's got me excited. Although I can't hear a word because I'm pretty deaf at the moment. So that's great.
That's okay. No one said we're letting you talk. We're listening to you.
Yeah. So we can safely ask the question: can we get it with orange spine this time too?
So
Do we
cool.
know?
I don't know the answer, but that
No,
is
yeah.
part of my function is to
it will be cool.
drive forward something that's meaningful to our community. I think the right people have been tasked with this. Luke has put together an incredible team. He's been very conscious of making sure that it's people who not only know Greyhawk, but love it. And that's a very different aspect than creating material. When you are focused on providing the best case scenario, not because it's a job, but because it's a passion project, that's what Luke has led very well, is taking his passion for D&D and the team that knows it, understands it, and can be that. We've got an incredible opportunity to provide Wizards with a product that will be a home run for them and for us. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm glad they're listening. I'm glad they are excited about it. And they are really opening the door to allowing us to make something that's great. And I really think a lot of people have an assumption of what's in a book. And I am convinced and comfortable and confident that the work that's being done here will be so much more than that, will be much more than people expect. And the level of appreciation and pleasure that will come from this book will be high. I'm excited about that more than anything else.
Yeah, awesome. We got a good question here. What's the time frame of the book? Is that something that we can talk about?
I don't
Or is
know
it-
that there's
yeah.
a time frame today. I think when everything is put together in Wizards timeline, then they'll be the ones who will tell us what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I think they, and I can't speak for them at all, but based on the people that we're spending our interface time with, I think that they're looking forward to our progress, and we've got some initial milestones, and I think once we achieve some of the internal ones, they'll be able to talk more about it.
Yeah.
That is my suspicion.
What about the timeline in the book, so to speak? Is that something that we can talk about, or
I have no idea.
Okay,
I think you guys could,
Yes.
with Luke's blessing, share the parts that are understood. And I
Okay,
think
yeah.
he's coming on tonight. I can't remember what you said, Jay.
He said he's coming on when he's able to. So
Yeah.
SRM's coming on at 8, and Luke said he'd come on whenever he was able to.
So
yeah.
hopefully,
Well,
maybe we can get that question answered during
Yeah,
the show.
indeed. I think so.
Yeah.
I can
Yep.
tell you
That's
that
awesome.
from a project management standpoint, everything is on track. Everyone is hitting nails on the head. Everything I've read only makes me more excited. The visuals, the concepts, the NPCs, the spells, all the stuff that you really want to see with the most profound and powerful origins of D&D.
Yeah.
I started in Greyhawk. That's what there was. Earth, which is the name of the world, was the basis of my world, which is now 50 years. And it's a home to a lot of us. And I think having product that comes out but moves us forward finally after all this time is incredible. And it's really a gateway drug to providing answers and opportunities for a lot of folks who have been missing it, and a lot of folks who are curious, and a lot of folks who will be well served being introduced to it. That's just a once in a lifetime opportunity for us. And we're being given that by an organization that has, really, really stepped up. Their presence at GaryCon was awesome. The folks, I've been reading posts. These guys are hardcore gamers. People are making comments without understanding it. But, first, they survived in mine, and that's not no easy thing. With 46 people going through the wood chipper dying, it's pretty exciting to be someone who survives. And they played multiple games and did great. We've gamed with them now for almost a year, and they are intuitive, phenomenal, understanding, started with old school and know it. And that gives us a great understanding of what, the future can be. And so I'm excited about that for sure.
Yeah. If you just want a general role, like Andrew would be grand coordinator, right? Your
Well,
Anna's maps, Saraldry, right? Just general. Myself and Les and Stephen Renning MacFarland are writers. And then Lee is layout, and Norker is editing, and Luke is doing a lot of his stuff for Melf. Right?
Everyone involved is someone who's had a stake in Greyhawk with a minimum of 40 years.
Yep.
I mean, a minimum.
Yeah.
We've easily got 300 years worth of expertise. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is
that's disturbing.
If you think about how content has been produced lately, people are hired to do a job. This is not that.
Right.
And so we need to understand the fundamental difference, of good to great and great to excellent, and then excellent to legendary. This is an opportunity for icons to really come home to a project and execute. And so that's exciting.
And it's on us now, everyone. So please be patient with us.
Make no mistake, everything that's been produced is on time and on schedule. And there's some big activities that are going to be coming up to show all the details when we get to the next briefing. And we're meeting on a regular basis. It's under a project timeline and outline, and every single person has been delivering on the ball. They've all been making sure that their material meets what is being looked at, and we are going to exceed expectations. That's what's exciting about this. This isn't a project. This is passion. This is a full adventure. This is the real deal. These people have waited so patiently to produce something with such a memorable outcome. I think it'll be legendary.
Everyone, Mr. Stephen Randy MacFarland joined us. Another
Hey, everyone.
welcome him.
Stephen.
We are so excited. So, Andrew, I know you're sick, and
Yeah, I think
you
I'm going to turn into a pumpkin with your permission.
no.
Recover
That
and
Concorde
Get the
thing,
crud, Andrew.
So
I
heal,
got two
heal quickly.
Yeah, I think I got it. Well,
Mm.
this was so. In addition to this being our 50th anniversary as a club, this is the first time I ever did over 60 hours of activities. So I broke my record, which was dumb, which was 50 hours last time, and I finished out at 61. So
Yeah,
I staggered away, somewhat being able to talk, but then yesterday it sort of hit me like a ton of bricks. So who knows?
Yeah,
It's a good way to lose weight, but a stupid way. So
Mhm.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
and Andrew,
My best to you all.
Yes.
And again, we'll be meeting next Monday
Yep.
to move the ball some more.
Yep.
Thank you
Have
so
a
very
great
much,
week,
Andrew,
folks.
for coming on. Really appreciate it. And get better
Heal
soon.
up quickly.
Bye.
Yep.
All right. Have a
We'll
good
see
one.
you soon.
Yep.
Cheers.
That was great. I didn't expect to come on this early. That's awesome. And Steven, you too were a half hour early, which is awesome, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Luckily, not a lot of construction noises today, so which was
good.
Fantastic. So, Steven's doing a lot for this. I don't know if we're going to go into details, but Steven's doing a lot of writing, which is awesome. And he's a legend in the industry and also hardcore knows Greyhawk. So, and it's exciting. So,
it's my favorite sandbox to play in. I mean, I like Forgotten Realms, I like Ravenloft, I like, a lot of them, but Greyhawk was, good, absolutely my first love as far as the settings go.
and I don't know if I have it, but I'm gonna look for it. And that's the picture from the Gen Con where all you can see is your stomach. You know what I'm talking about? With mouth in there and all. Yeah, I don't know if I can have that one. I'd have to locate where it is.
That was
Gen Con 2000?
Gen Con 2000. So here's the funny story about Gen Con 2000 is I was going anyway. I was very excited about the launch of third edition Dungeons and Dragons. So I had set up it was my first Gen Con. I was very excited to go. And 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks before Gen Con, I got hired by Wizards of the Coast.
Wow.
And and so it was my last Gen Con for a while until what year? 2010, after I got laid off, and we won the D&D Open. My team won the D&D Open that year. That I've only been to 2 Gen Cons as a quote unquote civilian, and it was that one. And it was kind of weird because I'd been hired, and so the folks at Wizards were showing me around. John Pickens at a WotC party. John Pickens like cornered me at this party, and he's like, "Stephen, now that it's your job to work on D&D and everything else, you're going to need a new hobby." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Let me tell you about online trading." And just began to bore the hell out of me about online trading. And it was Sam Wood, the artist, who came and I hadn't even met Sam, but Sam came and saved me from that. So that was a weird Gen Con because I bought a whole bunch of Living Greyhawk tickets. I was excited to play the first. I'd played a lot of Living City before that. I was very excited about Living Greyhawk. And then I gave my tickets all to my friends because I'm like, I can play these whenever I want. Really now. You guys go out and have a good time, because just have fun. And so it was a weird show for me, and it was the one and only time that I met Gary Gygax. Gave me some great advice that show. Because I told him, I'm like, I just got hired by Wizards, and he was like, "Oh, congratulations!" And he proceeded to give me some great advice that I keep today. And when I teach game design classes, I pass it on to my students.
Did you earn a lot of money on those online advice for investment or yeah?
No, I never really got into day trading and online trading. I did. The funny thing about it is, it wasn't really. It was a few years later when Ford was like $1 a share for a little while. I did buy like a whole bunch of Ford at one point in time and cashed in But that's
Hopefully you
the
can.
trading.
Yep. That was a good one. You got up before you got
Yeah,
blown away. Yeah. Mhm.
it's kind of like the last time I went to Gamma, which was in Reno. I saw a friend from Spain there, and we hadn't seen each other for a long time. And he talked me into doing blackjack. And I'm not a gambler, but he's like, play blackjack with me for a little while. And I got to a point where I was about $125 up, and I'm like, I'm done. And he goes, but you're up, and I'm like, I know, and I want to
Yeah,
keep it.
that's why you. Yeah. Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a gambler.
Absolutely. Ride the wave and get out while you're ahead.
Yep. The gaming industry is profitable because we are not in it.
True, so true.
Yeah.
So we're started with Dave. Let's kind of hit up some old Melf. This feels like a new renaissance there for Gary. Between this project, the courts allowing his various projects to see light, shoulder games. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yes. How's that say? Yes. That's what we're hoping. That's what we're hoping. And like, it's kind of like dumbfounding that, and I know Andrew is really sick. But like, he shared some things with me, and he made some demands of Watsi, and they agreed to everything. So, which is unbelievable. We're super excited about everything, and you guys can continue to ask questions in the audience. We'll answer what we can. But just note that we're excited to bring something. We're honored and excited to bring something to you all that's going to be cool and fun and challenging.
Yeah, a question I've been getting a lot, and I think I
Yes.
saw it on there was kind of the tone. What are our starting points? And what I've been telling people, which I believe is true, is that the folio and the 83 box is kind of our benchmark.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that we don't look at later product for inspiration, or sometimes even to disagree with, or to do that. But the tone that we are setting is the folio and the 83 box.
So here's how I explain it, and you're dead on. You have the A series, G series, D series, N1,
Yeah.
all those, Saltmarsh, and then you have this Darlene map, which is huge. There's nothing in millions of square miles, right? I don't know how many square miles that map is, Anna, but you should roughly hundreds of thousands, whatever it is.
Oh, the one that I've done so far?
The original Darlene map. No, I'm talking about the
Oh,
original
they did
Darlene
it.
map.
That's like 9 million square
9 million,
miles or something like that.
You
Yeah,
have
something
some
like that.
adventures, and then you have
Nice.
nothing else. And you have some mentions of Eastern
At
and Southern.
least 9 million. It might be more, but top of my head, it's at least 9 million. Yeah.
Rob Kuntz and Gary mentioned a little bit in the events of the Eastern and Southern Flannis and Dragon. You got to wait till the Free City Greyhawk box set, and then a little bit in Greyhawk Adventures. We're going to tell stories that were there that no one knows.
Yeah. I can mention that the map I've developed so
Early
far
on.
for this project is way more than 1 million square miles.
Yeah, that's so unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to tell stories from Melf's perspective. This may not be Ayuz's perspective, may not be Thrommel's perspective. Everyone who's giving me crap about Vampire Thrommel already in chat. That's what's going to happen. Yes.
And also, I think it's important to point out that these are stories that the players will be able to actually affect the world, which will then react to them.
Yeah.
Like this isn't something where Melf is the Elminster or whatever of this adventure, and you don't have any direct effect on things. Your characters will be able to directly affect and change events.
Absolutely.
Now, all that can, and if people are worried, I think it's important to point out there's stuff that comes up from later lore, at least in some of the material, but nothing is set in stone. If the DM wants to stick to quote unquote canon, they can. If they don't want to, if they want to deviate and take things in their own direction, they can. There's material you can disregard altogether.
Yep.
It's basically, in some ways, well, at least the lore section. I know Steven's got a great adventure that he's working on. I mean, it is I think a fabulous piece of exciting adventure and peril for the players.
That is
but also
goal.
the lore section. The lore section plants several seeds. And I think that one of the things that I hope we're all going for is this idea that the players are an integral part of the world. Just in the same way that back when you were playing those classic modules, what you were doing could affect
exactly
events profoundly.
Right. Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, very important to me. And the other thing I was going to mention, I think, because I was thinking, it touches on something Andrew was saying. We're taking this project pretty seriously. I mean, obviously, we have to honor Gary's legacy. We have to honor also the fans, and we want to tip our hat to some of the Greyhawk work that was inspired by Gary later.
Yep.
But one of the things that we have to do too is we have to, while being mindful of all these considerations, ultimately we're the ones working on this, and we want to be able to. How can I put this? I understand where some criticisms may come from, but we really can't respond to any criticisms from people who haven't seen what we've done yet. I think it's important that we go ahead and we stay true to what we're doing and our vision of what we're doing. We're certainly concerned, that we don't want to hurt anyone's mojo. But at the same time, we've got our own mojo, and all I can say is that what we're working on, I think, is really, really good. I think you guys will enjoy it. I think that there's going to be a little something in there for most Greyhawkers, if not all. And I would say trust us. We are not, we aren't. This isn't just work for hire for us. We're not just called in here because we're doing it as mercenary work. We care a lot about this setting, and we can't let our time be consumed also by engaging in internet arguments at this point. That would be my main thing.
Sparing me from being called emotionally unstable in a post. So,
well, I mean, this is the thing. There are going to be people who've encountered some of us before, some of us who maybe have issues. There's going to be your drive-by internet commentators and people looking for hot takes. Yeah. That happens, and I understand that there's some of the hesitation that people have in this being an arrangement with WotC. All I can say is that thus far, we have had no negative feedback. We have received no notes about gutting anything. They're leaving us to our devices and trusting our judgment. And I would say, hopefully, our audience will do the same, because I think they'll be pleasantly surprised and really enjoy the product when it comes out.
Yeah. And then with the caveat. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I'm sorry. I'm shocked, Les. Are there arguments on the internet about Greyhawk?
I know. I was appalled. I actually had to go and cower for about 12 hours, Stephen. It was amazing.
Stephen got well in front of it. I loved your post that you put up. That was great. You got well in front of it and said, and talked about, everyone you knew who was involved and all. That's great. That was
and then it took like 2 days before it spread enough that the others,
funniest. That was the funniest.
But it's kind of interesting, and also with the caveat that you can never please everybody, and the better you do, the worse some will criticize because of it. So always look at Minnie, come on.
It still have.
In a way, it's kind of it wouldn't be a true Greyhawk product if there weren't a lot of disagreement about it. So that would just make sure that it is like good old days of Greyhawk.
I still have the copy that they sent to Wizards of the petition for Wizards of the Coast to fire me from the RPGA. And it's fun going through and reading some of the names on there, like Ron Lundine's on there.
Oh my God.
And everything else. And people were so mad at the time because I was making adjustments that were actually better for the campaign for a while. And my girlfriend Beth actually gave me a frame for this thing. I still need to put it up somewhere in the house.
How many years did you and Ron work together at Paizo? That was a bunch of years after.
Quite a few years. And Ron's great guy, great designer.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
Didn't he go back to Paizo? He went back, didn't he?
Yeah, he went back to Paizo.
Oh yeah, he went to Wizards and then back to Paizo again. Yeah, I met him a couple of times. He's awesome. Yeah.
Here's the number one thing, though. I think a lot of people online we have nothing to do with. Stephen addressed it in his post.
Yeah.
The apology tour is not. They already did it. They said twice to Luke. Dan said, apologize to him. If the posts that are on there and all, there's nothing we can do about that. Luke has accepted it, so we should all too. That's all I'm going to
we,
say.
we can only control what's in our power, and what's in our power is to create
We can't
the best
control.
damn book you guys can possibly buy.
That's exactly right, and that's what we're going to do. So there's a lot out of our hands. Just note that we have a lot in our hands, which is unbelievable. So and we won't mess it up. So
we will try our best not to.
We will do our best. Sorry, Mike, that you've been quiet. You have any questions for us about this project, Mike?
Sure. So there is an adventure in this.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So is it like Greyhawk Adventures? It's a hardback source book, but then also has adventure attached to it?
Have we been given the go-ahead to talk about scope?
We can talk about in general, no specifics, but we can talk about it. This is one of 3 books. We can talk about that.
Okay.
First, a book of 3. It's limited to a couple areas in Greyhawk.
Yep.
Okay. The adventures in a couple areas of Greyhawk.
That is true.
It'll start at level 3, right? The adventure.
Yes.
And then there'll be 3
Although
books.
I've got ideas for levels 1 and 2, but
yes, good. No, that's great. That's fantastic. And there'll be side tracks, sidebars, and new spells, and new items, and homage to old organizations and certain characters, a lot of stuff.
So so let's go with those assumptions. It takes place in, I guess you could say, 2 realms, 2 lands of Greyhawk, primarily. The adventure itself does. And so you start with one, you go into another. One of the ways that it's a 3-act structure for the adventure. And so one of the things that I like to put into it is it's got a lot of sort of build your own aspects to it, that is kind of like a random encounter table in some ways. A lot of it I based off of, at least the tone of it, the old random encounters from the various regions that we're going to be in from the folio and the 83 box set. I kind of take a look at that and I'm like, oh, this could be an interesting thing. Let me infuse a little bit more story into it, so it's not, so many brigands. It's this group of brigands who have these sort of goals, and it's something. So you could possibly at least play big swaths of this adventure, go to another GM, and big parts of that adventure is going to be a lot different based on which, either the random rolls or what the GM kind of decides to do with it. And so
I got another question for you.
Yeah, of course, Mike.
Yep.
Do you guys have a page count?
Roughly. It's at 128.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Bill.
And
there's been various numbers mentioned in the
that's a happy
exactly back and forth early in this project, and what will be at the end, I don't really know. So yeah.
I want to, Stephen.
Yeah.
I want to say again, the adventure you're writing is great stuff. And it's also been inspiring to another section of the book, the lore section, which is basically fleshing out some of the, without going into, I want to keep it in the same way that Gary and others kept these territories, where the DM has a lot of flexibility with how they want to interpret and read the history. I do want to flesh out some of the organizations. I want to flesh out I say I want to. I've actually been doing it, for a couple of years now. Fleshing out the bad guys and their perspective on things. And then, of course, we'll have Melf's commentary on all this stuff. And also the lore section opens it up so that if the DM wants to stick to just this territory, they have, much like the Living Greyhawk Mysterious Places, you've got these sites and these characters who have these histories, and you can spin out a campaign from that.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of sidebars and side treks.
And sidebars, side treks.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and seeds for future potential things that could
Yes.
go all the way to say 15th level, 18th level. There's lots of opportunities throughout, and then of course that ties into some, because people were asking about this. There are mechanical options and suggestions for giving your game a little bit more of an old school feel. And with that, the purpose is not to tell you how to play your game. The purpose is to put these tools out for you.
Yeah.
And you can incorporate them if you want to play standard 5.5, feel free. But here are some options that we have found, and at least me as a DM for 5th edition, and other people have found that are useful to giving that kind of vibe. Jay's been contributing to that. We've been getting some great feedback. There'll be playtesting of some more of the material. The main thing with this is that we want it to be mechanically sound. We want it will change the terms of the game a little. And DMs should realize that. But if they want that older feel, if they want what Luke was talking about with the danger and the possibility that you could go down in combat, and it can be brutal, then there's that. And I want that, but I very much want that to be tied into the lore and very much feel like it's almost an extension of the lore. In other words, these aren't just rules; they're rules that reflect the world that you're living in and exploring.
And they're rules
So,
that there are rules that maybe I use in my old school game.
yeah,
Or Steven
exactly.
uses his game, or Anna uses, or Les uses. So they're going to become suggestions. That's all. And it'll be fun. It'll be
Yeah.
something different. Yeah. So that'll be another cool.
And the key thing there, I mean, it's a cool thing. The way I've just mentioned it, you have an adventure, and you have two toolboxes, right, with the lore and with the mechanical aspect. And
Great questions, Mike.
the DM can very, very much customize it that way, and take what you please. If this rule works for you, fine. If you really like the setup with this one location, use it, appropriate it, man, and do your own thing with it. If you want to run the adventure straight and just do the adventure, you have that option too. So in other words, this book has a lot of material.
Too. Melf won't just be a name somewhere. Melf
Yeah.
will be around.
Oh yeah, Melf shows up.
Yeah.
Melf shows up in the adventure multiple times.
Yep.
In sometimes surprising ways. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not. I think somebody made the point that he's definitely not an Elminster character. Sometimes he can be a guiding hand.
Yeah. Or put the players in touch with somebody that they need to be in touch with,
and this is a young and very into daring do Melf. This isn't somebody who you're going to be all like, oh, Melf's going to save us. It's all like, no, he might get you in trouble.
Yeah.
And he's got a new organization too.
Yep.
No more Knights of Luna.
That was one of my next questions is, did Jay veto the Knights of Luna?
Well,
so I mean, once you think about it, Mike, it wouldn't necessarily fit the timeline, right?
No, it doesn't fit timeline at all. It's pre-wars.
We're talking 576.
So that means that Luke technically can invent it in future.
Or he can just say that.
Yeah.
If you want to use the Knights of Luna later, you can. Sure.
No,
that's a later event, right?
Right. That's the great thing about this. This won't affect Living Greyhawk era. It won't affect From the Ashes. It won't affect any of that. That's the great thing about this is go back and play, play 576 and it won't,
or if you choose to ignore all the later stuff, you can do that too.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, and so somebody asked me this. It's like, well, I mean, they put it in sort of a derogatory way, which I don't always agree with, but I get the point. It's like, are we going to get all of the? Somebody asked me this. This is how they put it. All the furry species, and I'm like, we're tending to avoid those in this work, but that doesn't mean you can't have them when you play them. It's just we're going for a tone that's a little bit old school. But if you look at Tabaxian and Dragonborn and Tieflings and everything else, there's nothing to stop you from especially letting the player characters come in or tweaking some NPCs that you find in the adventure and go, well, I want this to be this. I mean, that's kind of standard hat for, the great thing about tabletop role-playing games, in my opinion, more so than any other kind of game, is they're infinitely hackable. Like, if it doesn't fit the group, You just make some changes.
Yeah.
I'll say
That
this:
are largely cosmetic.
Melf stays an elf.
Yes.
Characters stay human or stay halfling or stay gnome or dwarf. We're not race changing any existing characters from the old school Greyhawk setting. Okay.
And
Does that
this
make
kind
sense?
of follows an old Greyhawk tradition, is that there are a lot of white spaces in the
Yes.
description of things to be filled in by whoever runs the adventure and fit it into your campaign, so to speak.
You know,
In addition to that, one last thing, which would be if you think about humanoids or demi-humans in Greyhawk, you have the baseline, but you're also going to have unique personalities and quirks within them.
Sure.
yeah.
Like, there's no reason that you won't have an eccentric elf who has a collection of human teeth. Just because he finds dentistry fascinating, and he's fascinated by human bone structure. So you never know what kind of odd character and odd personality you're going to run across. I sometimes think that we think of the cosmetic, the appearance, the physical, as the only marker of difference. When you have psychology, you've got culture, you've got all these other factors that are reflected in characters being unique or strange or different. And within that, I think you can build, within any kind of fantastic setting, certainly within Greyhawk, you can build your own unique elf. You can build your own unique gnome. You can build your own unique halfling. I mean, how many evil gnome illusionists are there running around Greyhawk? You have only to look at one of Melf's enemies, and of course Obmi, who is traveling with that enemy in the novels, to see that there are non-standard dwarves and elves and halflings, right? So
when either writing a game or running a game, I always like to make the distinction of playing with type or against type.
exactly.
I mean, so, let's take a look at everybody's favorite dark elf, Driz. Driz was so evocative because it was playing against type. Now, strangely enough, that type then became playing against type becomes a
became
type.
everyone. Yeah, immensely.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the first time a player came to me and was like, Stephen, I've got this crazy idea for a character for your campaign. And I'm like, yeah, what is it? And he goes, it's a dark elf. And I'm like, And he goes, it wields 2 scimitars. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, and I've got a panther animal companion. And I'm like, that is pretty wild. And then he's like, because I've been reading these new Forgotten Realms novels, and this character's
Yep.
really cool. And
Probably-
of course, as a GM and a game designer, I want to give people the freedom to play those against type or those things that they've read somewhere.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, in every way, when we decided to do this project and figured out the baselines, that's not what we're doing. But you always have the freedom to do it. That's what makes tabletop role playing.
That's important, and I think it's also important to state that we have not been told that we have to. Okay, this is the way I look at it, and the way that I think that the company's looking at D&D is a multiverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
All worlds are not identical.
Right.
That's one thing to keep in mind. The second thing is that we are not. Our mandate is to get back to what Greyhawk felt like, right? The feeling that we had with Greyhawk when we were a kid.
Yep.
And orcs are scary. These other creatures can be scary. They're not human. Humans can be scary too, by the way. I think that's an important point to make. Yeah.
I mean, something I always like, do we really have to make hobgoblins fey?
I was just going to say that was one of the key bits here, I guess.
I understand, as a designer and a DM, I understand why to make goblinoids fey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it makes a lot of sense. In my own role-playing game, Delve, they are fey, right?
Yeah.
Because
Same
I understand
thing. My rules, Hawktails, they're also they're going. They're also fake.
That for Greyhawk seems to me a bridge too far.
Yep.
Like, especially if we're going for the old school.
Yep.
Especially with the location we're playing in, they're not
especially
running around there.
So another hint, kids.
Yes, that's an easy one.
Another hint.
That's an easy one. But we're gonna have a blast with it. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Here, a question came up about Melf. According to this, he was born in 400 CY. This is David Leonard's David Leonard's Greyhawk Musings, on Melf Part 1. A lot of this is just talking about the background in the area and Celine. So if we come down here, this is where we get some first detail on him. He is Yolan's cousin. So,
Yep.
trivia question: who has Melf's cousin in my campaign? There's another cousin of someone famous, and he's my good friend. Come on,
Cousin?
Kurt. What's that?
Is it Eric's cousin's cousin?
No, it's a cousin. It's a character specifically to my campaign. So
Oh,
the answer is
Okay.
what? Yes, Leslie, Lino, Les.
New campaign? No, I wouldn't. I was thinking Eric's cousin from the original campaign.
Dale's right. It's Todd Stashwick's character, Morton Didif.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's another cousin to Melf. Yes, absolutely. And he got played at Gary Con as well, and he got put down to -8 hit points, which was awesome. So yes, so and then in my game, Melf has a son too. His name's Eliador. He loses in the joust every year, and we also call him Smelf, son of Melf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
then we'll see if Luke will
we'll see if Smelf is
immortalize
around.
that character in some other way. Yeah, I don't think so, but that needs a renaming though.
Yeah. So we're starting the Melf lore starts, and a lot of this has references on it, and he does them. Look, LGG, the MacGawk has a tier 130, but a lot of this has nothing to do with Melf. He's trying to set up the background on what Melf's doing, because if he's 400, in our book he'll be 170 years old. That's young for a Grey Elf. 250 is mature, right? That age. So that's young for a Grey Elf.
That's what I thought.
I was just going to throw this out here too. When we were talking about rules and character and relationships, one of the things that I've found incredibly, Luke is incredibly generous with his time, and I've had, as you know, some one-on-one time with him. And one of the things that I'll do is I'll sit down and I'll go through. Okay, your dad's campaign and the novels and stuff. I realize that the table at home is different from the finished product and the published product. But what I want to know is, if I read this passage from the DMG and then look at the scarcity of a monster, is this implying this? Like when your dad was doing this, is this how he would use this monster? Or one of the other key things was, like, this rule, how did having this rule affect your character? Because I'm very much interested in how those things, if that makes sense, the feel of it and the vibe of it, and how can you convey that vibe without completely ripping apart the edifice of 5.5 or 5.5? Like, how can you introduce elements of that while still keeping the mechanics of 5 or 5.5 around? And Luke's stuff, the conversations I had with him, I think were incredible, at least in my mind, and also in thinking about the lore that we're developing. I want that, if that makes sense, being able to ask him questions. It's not going to be Gary's campaign.
No.
But it's definitely going to have some resonances with elements that were in play in Gary's campaign. Right. And I think that's important.
This is going to be Luke's perspective. Right.
Yeah. It's our homage to Gary's work.
Absolutely. 100%.
So, while Luke is an incredible conduit to the past and how it was played and everything else, like, Luke runs the game different. The 50th anniversary of D&D, or was it D&D or Gen Con? One of the two. Gen Con decided to do a streaming of every edition of D&D.
Yeah, that was Gen Con Online. Yeah.
Gen Con Online. And so Luke ran first edition, and I played in that game. Was able to go down there. It's always fun to play with Luke and everything else. And he gave us a sheet of how he was going to run things, because of course nobody runs first edition the same way.
No, that's correct. You're absolutely correct.
I'm playing a wizard. Are we doing weapon speeds and casting times? Well, we're not doing weapon speeds, but we are doing casting times. And I'm like, well, you've already kind of nerfed me, but sure. and then he his critical hit rules. And so online, I'm like, critical hits? What would your father say, Luke?
Yeah.
Gary needed critical hit. I think Gary's wrong on that one, and you know, and Luke ran a really great game. But in a lot of ways, it is sort of like I think we all revere Gary's design and can find critique with it, you know. But this is definitely Gary's
Thanks,
Gary's
friends.
intent filtered through Luke's sensibilities.
Good way of putting it. Really good way of putting it. Absolutely. Great way. For me, it's going to be something that we build on with a storyline, right? Because we're supposed to have this is supposed to be book 1 of 3, with some new tricks to get people more interactivity with a book, right? You know, that Andrew's talked about, which is going to be really cool, and to set a launching point for more product. That's hopefully where it goes, you know. So, oh, Steve, your team took second. Got it. Cool. Norker, you're allowed to come on. Norker, you're part of this team, so come on, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to be on here. You're supposed to be on. So, you know,
Not only
without
allowed,
you
he's
editing, we don't
ordered
get
to
anything
be.
done. So, all right. So the great thing about, and I'll go through this pretty quickly. I know because we got some other fun stuff. This entire first part 1 does not talk about Melf at all. It sells up what Melf's thoughts are and all the things that are going on that's in published source, right?
Yeah, it's the kind of the landscape
It's
that
kind of the landscape.
Melf's supposed to fit into,
Right. That's
kind of
exactly what it is.
thematically and in setting.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we get to hear one of my favorite times is this is the Hateful Wars. Now, he only would be 90, he'll only be 100 years old here, and I don't see any mention of him anywhere in the Hateful Wars. Now we know about Yolan's consort, Princess Saren, gets killed. We know that, disappears, no one ever finds his body. But we don't know, and then we get the Low Road of the Lort Mills, which I use to this day in my adventuring. But we don't know much. It doesn't appear Melf was participating in this from any published source that we know of.
Was he too young?
Well, at 100, it probably would be like him being like a 14-year-old or something like that, right? Boy, so probably, but there's no mention here. So, you know, so no
He probably
retconning.
went in disguise
It could be.
because he was told not to go because he was too young.
That's
That would be
possible.
my take on it. Because at least my conversations with Luke and Melf is he's not very. He's definitely not as wise or charismatic as he thinks he is.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. And his stats I'm going to show you. He's got the first set of stats. His charisma is 8.
Oh yeah. And in fact, I've got some jokes that kind of play on that throughout the adventure. People's sort of takes on Melf. Like I've got this one guy who's like, yeah, he doesn't say it, but he doesn't like Melf, and he has no real reason why, right?
Yeah.
But it affects how he deals with the party if they bring up Melf.
That's all I'm saying. I'm looking here, and none of the here's his stats. Here's his first set of stats. Melf completes initial instructions, fighter mage, user DMG 112. Strength 17, intelligence 18, wisdom 12, dex 17, con 15, charisma 8.
8. Yeah.
Uh,
This is the guy you're following.
it's perfect.
It's all on you.
And I don't know if that's where that artwork comes from. That's why I didn't use it in my scroller because we're not sure. 550 says Melf struck out finally, but where? So yeah. What? Oh my God! All those maps from Fate of Istis. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. We kind of. Hey Patrick, how are you doing? So yeah.
Somebody does not know how a city works.
No, that era was not very. Anna was not in her prime back then during the second edition era. Right, you weren't.
Right.
Yeah, Anna was not around like correcting them. We will have that problem. Trust me, in our book. Right? No, you don't have that issue.
No.
So, yeah.
No, but back then, this level of mapping and stuff didn't exist anywhere really. There were some Middle Earth enthusiasts that were trying hard, but that was about it. I think when it comes to Well, we had the Forgotten Realms Atlas, but that lady, I forgot Forno, or lady that passed away like a year ago. She did
That's
the
a great one.
Dragonlance Atlas and the Forgotten Realms Atlas and the Middle Earth. Those were the only really good attempt at mapping fantasy worlds, so to speak, that to date. I'm trying to live up to her standards, but I'm still struggling hard. Yep.
Oh, you're doing a great job.
Thank you, but yep. But that was she was really
Yeah,
a trailblazer.
that was definitely so. So the funny thing about it is in sort of my setting timeline, I was very into Greyhawk. I moved to Santa Fe, made some really good friends there that were part of my D&D group who owned the local comic shop that sold some role-playing games. And it was the owner of that shop, my friend John Mackey, who gave me the Greyhawk gray box set and brought in a couple of the comic books and said, "Hey, read this." Because I know you're getting frustrated with Greyhawk because it was like the puppets and
Second edition era, yes.
yeah, second
Yeah,
edition
that's
era. And that gray box, that Forgotten Realms gray box set is such a seminal, just fantastic piece of work. It's something I still go back to and I'm like, yeah, that's one of the greatest D&D products I think ever created.
Hey, Tiffany, hope you're
Just
doing better. I know Tiffany missed much of Gary Con because she was sick too.
oh wow,
So
what were you guys doing? Passing around the plague? I'm glad I missed it.
everyone was it was a sinus infection for Tiffany, norovirus, right, for Anna, right? Something like that, Anna?
Yeah, yeah, it was either norovirus or something that causes you to
Ugh,
throw up and do all sorts of crap or something. So yeah, I
Yeah,
got
probably.
fever, vomiting,
Just my
and
voice
all.
and
It came
fatigue.
like struck from nowhere, so to speak. So yeah, but the name of the lady that did the maps was Karen Vin Fonstad. That's
right.
her
I
name.
remember
Yep,
the win. Yeah.
yep. Karen Wynne Funstad. She passed away a year ago, and the
Uh,
coolest thing that was a little bit because I became aware of the fact that she passed away because a journalist from New York Times reached out to me and asked about fantasy mapping because he wanted to have some references and stuff. So he found my name and heard if I knew about her work, and I was like, yes, I had these things. So we had a Zoom call, and that's why I became aware of the sad fact that she passed away. So yeah.
yeah, but
Anna, you remember, of course, that they'd announced back in the day they were going to do when TSR or whoever was doing those maps. Remember, they had a Greyhawk map
Oh
or
yes, yeah,
Atlas that was
yeah.
scheduled and then scrapped. Never
Yes, yeah,
came out.
exactly. But I don't think she was involved in that project or
I'm not sure.
thought.
I think she was because she handled the other ones for TSR.
Yeah,
So
I've
that might
talked
have
to
been.
Eric Mona and stuff, but we haven't been able to figure out all the details and stuff. So that's
that would have been a
possible,
great
definitely.
run.
But I haven't got any sure conclusions
Yeah,
from
yeah.
archaeology digging into it. I've asked Ben Riggs and others, have you heard anything about this and stuff? So it's possible, but we don't have any evidence indicating it, so to speak.
Let me show you some one of the anomalies David points out here real quick. So he finds that's the Melf mini, right?
Tim Truman, one of my
Yep.
favorite.
Yeah. And then the
Yep.
artwork for this in black and white
It
is that.
it's really cool. Yeah.
Yes. This is in the Shady Dragon Inn. But
Yep.
characters renamed to Perle.
Right.
So,
Well, it's so what year did this come out? Here's my guess.
Yeah. Let me see what year this is. It gotta be early 80s, right?
Yeah, it's got to be. Is
83.
it before or after Gary left?
83.
Yeah, so 83.
This is right when the box set came out.
Oh, this is when the box set.
Yeah,
So
In fact, Gary had a story about that, or because someone asked him, I think, and it was in one of the when he was still around and posting online. He said something to the effect of course, Melf is Luke's character, but when they were just throwing out names, the advertising people were just throwing out names for the characters, and so that led to a bit of confusion. Apparently, like it was going to be Melf, but no, it's not really Melf. So,
okay.
Apparently, that was what the source of the two names is.
But with that, the Melf stats did change here already. So he goes up to 910 here, and
Yeah.
his charisma is now the stats are much more.
14.
Yeah,
No.
the stats are. Because I know he has exceptional strength right off the bat, right, and he has high intelligence. So these are all wrong. So it's just weird. It's a strange change out. We also do know though he becomes friends with Mordenkainen.
Right.
Yep.
We know that. We know that.
Well,
So-
who's not friends with Mordenkainen?
Yeah. That's
Good old
another.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's he's got hair in that picture too. So also and is this from Gord Raphael Gildentongue? Is that from Gord there, Les? His friend? The
No,
Bard?
I don't think it is.
Okay, all right. That's another one.
Well, yeah, the Bard, yeah.
He's in the Bard's from the Marklands. Correct?
Yeah.
He's from the Marklands.
No, the Bard, I'm sorry, is the Marklands. It's the his sidekick Barris or whatever, the halfling comes up again in the Gord stuff.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's Dean Alliance quest for the Hearthstone. There you go. So a lot of this is just setting things up. There's nothing really written down hardcore about what Melf's doing early on at all. So it gives us a lot
Well,
of
except for in the
Yes.
in the stables at the end of the Welcome Wench, there's a lot of what's written down.
Is there? Is there notations in there?
Oh, that's from I don't think it's the first Greyhawk novel. It's the second one is
From Artifact of Evil?
yeah, Melf gets a little frisky in that book.
Oh yeah, Melf with the barmaid or whatever.
Yep.
Yep.
Problematic. He doesn't have a low charisma in that book.
Yeah,
I don't know, the way that he handles her the next day kind of indicates a low charisma and no people skills.
Yeah, that might be true. Yeah.
Steven,
His
we don't know
riz
what his-
definitely wears off.
I use comeliness though. We don't know what his comeliness stat is. You
Oh,
have a high
right.
comeliness and low charisma.
I was going to say, I think the barmaid was fascinated by an elf. I mean, he did have Keck there as well, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
But then it's like, and then the elf's like, okay, that
Hey.
happened.
That could be Eliador if she was a human barmaid, because he's half elven.
It might be. It's been a while. I just recently, now that I've got a place where I can unpack all of my books, I've got all of those books, and I'm like, oh, I should go back and reread those. But yeah, that stuck with me because I probably read it when I was 14, and I'm like, Elf, yeah.
What year did that come out? 86?
I think it's
I want to say
I want to say.
Well, let's see. I was at least a sophomore in high school, so yeah, that sounds about right.
Mike, give us another question.
Oh boy. I can comment on the Shady Dragon Inn entry.
Please do that.
Looks like Paralay there is a wood elf, if that makes any difference.
Yeah, which definitely
Yeah.
Melf's not.
I also
No.
like that he has a named sword,
Yes.
Yes.
Null Cleaver. I thought that was pretty cool.
True. I thought that Melf had a named sword too, and it could have been given to him by Mordenkainen. Am I remembering this right? I could be wrong. I'll check. We'll go to the
Well,
part,
absolutely.
we'll go to the part 2 on that. So let me go to part 2. Part 2 has a lot more detail.
Oops,
Take a look here.
I'm already losing pieces.
As you can see, the lack of, like, Melf doesn't appear in Mordekainen's Fantastic Adventure or any where there's all these NPCs all over the place and all these published source adventures. Isle of the Ape, none of them. He doesn't appear in any of them. So there's not a lot of detail on the early history. Hence why this book is easy to do, because there's nothing written about what he's doing in 576. So
Right.
Hey Mandy. Now here's Melf part 2, and this gets a little more details on what he's actually doing as they start. And we hit the 570s right here. And it says, now this is ironic because we have 3 books. And he's talking about being around in the vestry. Well, that's perfect, So, we could actually tweak it, not and tweak our timeline. We don't know our book, like Battle of Harmony Meadows is 569. So it has to be after that, but it has to be before wars. So we can go anywhere between 570 and 576. I don't think we haven't decided on a specific date yet. Right? So we can make that decision when we want to do it.
Maybe there would be no specific
Or we
date
don't need to
depending
make
on
a
how
date.
it's
We don't need to set
exactly.
the date. And
Yeah.
you can decide the date.
And I make the heraldry and the map, so I'm probably the least or not super dependent on what date it will be in the book. So
none of the stuff I think we will have.
I have more of a problem with too much of a span. Then I might have to make different versions depending on. We'll see. Yeah.
Steve, man,
I'm just assuming the typical adventuring season somewhere between, early spring to late fall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some year.
Yeah, it has to be. That makes total sense. Because they
is that summer, so I don't have to do winter maps? Yep.
Well, there can be snow in the winter and where we are.
That might be. Yeah.
Yeah. So 570s. It says From the Ashes, page 69. He's studying Ayus, which is interesting because From the Ashes is after that. That's 581 plus, right? So this is a note that goes back. That's why David's good. He gives us a lot of details. Talks once again about Yolan 711. I have a much higher level. You all should too. Talks about him being in the SUS, which is an area probably we won't be touching. In any of the books, it's too far south. For what we're doing, I'm giving stuff away. I got to be careful.
Yeah, careful.
He's doomed.
I am doomed, but I didn't say we're. I said probably not. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So, you made your con save. I'm glad everyone who didn't get sick at Gary Con. I'm glad you didn't get sick. I mean, I didn't get sick either. I was just run down. This Raffendell is a lot, and mentioned a lot. And here we go. This really the detail on Melf starts in 582. That's it with the Lights in Luna, which means for us, whatever we do is not going to affect anything. It's going to affect your campaign, what you do, but it's not going to affect the future publications. We're not going to undo stuff, except for one major thing.
Well,
that's in book 2. I'm busting this audience's stone. What's that? I'm busting this audience back. Come on.
I know.
They're giving me hell already. They're talking about Vampire Thrommel and again. It drives me insane. So yeah. Yeah.
I also want to emphasize, Jay, here's the thing is that we aren't undoing anything that happens later, but what happens later can also vary from table to table wildly. So
well, I mean, and to be fair, our third book, the tentative title is Everybody Hates Thrommel.
Yeah, exactly.
Steven, that's funny. That was great. That was funny.
It's kind of a situation comedy.
Laugh.
Built in Greyhawk, where Thrommel is a vampire, but and Valuna and Furiondi are chasing him all the time, and he's just like, I just want to suck blood and be a good guy.
I heard he almost takes over all of Furiondi in Living Greyhawk era for Thrommel, vampire. That's what I heard when they came on our show. I was like, what? Oh my God.
So I will tell you exactly what I told the circle and everything else, right? When I created, or put together the circle and gave them a lot of leeway to do whatever they wanted in Greyhawk. And I was all like, have fun with it. Make sure your players love it. No dicks on foreheads. That's exactly what I told them. Like, that's the limit. And so in a lot of ways, because the promise was to sort of give the world over to, the triads and the players and everything else. I really just, let them play with it. So if I had my druthers, if I was like the brand manager of Greyhawk, there's a lot of things in in Living Greyhawk, I'm like, yeah, maybe not, right? If I was going to micromanage it. Um, so so the great thing is if you are one of the wonderful, fantastic creators of Living Greyhawk stuff, we would definitely, if we were moving forward the timeline, which in a lot of ways I hope we kind of do in some ways and not do in others, at least not officially. Uh, we would take a look at that, but we might not take your ideas to heart.
Right. No, and the great thing is that the team is small.
Yeah.
And we all have each other's back, so it's not a big team.
Mhm.
Now, we will. There will be some instances where someone from the outside will have written something already, and we will
Yes.
utilize it because
Yes,
we need to.
absolutely.
We need
Yeah.
to. So, someone in the community, that's the case, and it's a person who has their name on this book. All right, there you go. There, that's all I'll say.
Well, right, right. Well, that book is a fantastic book.
Yep.
And is definitely one of my sources in this. I mean, yeah, Eric and everybody, Sean and Gary, and who else is on the cover?
Gary, Eric Mona, Sean Reynolds, Frederick Wining.
Oh, and Frederick, right?
Yep.
They did such a great job with that book. And the supplementary material that came out in Living Greyhawk Journal and everything else. Really,
The Gazettes are awesome. The Gazettes are awesome.
That's been a heavy, strong influence on me. So yeah.
Yeah, I worked on most of those Living Greyhawk journals, and it was just a joy. But in a lot of ways, like, later when Eric moved up to periodicals, and all of a sudden I had this massive worldwide campaign I had to run and make sure that it ran well, I realized that there were two competing factions in Living Greyhawk, and one was to create this beautiful make sense universe, and the other one was a whole bunch of people just wanting to play Dungeons and Dragons and facilitate their friends playing Dungeons and Dragons. And I definitely made the choice to pick the second group rather than the first.
Well, that's the important thing, and I think that's the thing. The thing with this project is that this is a living and lived-in world. It is a world that you can act upon, and it will react.
Yes.
It's not something that's pristine and set in stone, and silent as a crypt. It's very much a rambunctious, noisy, beautiful, and sometimes terrifying place where you're not quite, who knows what'll happen.
So
yeah, I agree. A living campaign needs to be messy.
Speaking of that,
just like your home campaign can be messy because you've got the greatest audience that sits around the table, and you're working to entertain those people.
Speaking of that, for the first Astrolier, Jeremy Vosberg, right, Stephen? You know him. He's Tony's a fiance. First time ever I played in, not Living Greyhawk, but I played in the Greyhawk event. The new Heroes of Greyhawk, right? The Legends.
Oh yeah. How was that?
It was so he ran a great adventure. I couldn't talk. I barely had any voice. I play tested the class we were talking about, the Banneret class. I play tested it.
Oh right.
For this, and Jeremy was very nice for me to do that. But it was fun. I played with Chris and his wife from, they're part of the community. I only have 3 characters, but it was a really cool adventure. And now I understand a little bit more.
Chris Tulloch?
What's, excuse me?
Was it Chris Tulloch?
No, Jeremy wrote it. Jeremy and Tony.
Oh, Jeremy wrote it. Yeah.
Jeremy and Tony wrote it. There was a whole crew of them were there, which is really cool.
Such great people.
Yeah. But I was glad I got participated in it just to see how. And the day before, they were in this huge interactive, and Tony was explaining to me how the tables, people go to different tables and stuff. I was like, this sounds like the old
interactive are nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. I was really happy to see that they had brought it back. And they're doing such a nice job with it, and the room was full. And so I think
David Crisp
It's his baby.
David Christ, who I don't think he runs a lot of that stuff. David was a member of the circle. I hired him back in the day to run conventions. He's great at running both conventions and campaigns and letting other people really step up and do that. So I'm not surprised that
Cool, Chef. Are you helping with that interactive?
Interactive.
Yeah, I was bouncing in and out in that interactive, but I was so happy I played Sunday morning. So, I'll talk about that. What I want to do with the banner now for on Monday. Have some changes made up on it, but real quick, just a quick announcement because we got a lot more people on. No game tomorrow night. Saturday morning's our next game, because the author Tiffany Rose Nichols back.
David Christ hero.
She's on playing with Myriad and Amanda Show Me Dice and Bella and Cherry Blossom to the high seas with their new group of characters, all female cast. It's awesome. Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Looking forward to y'all being there. We'll have some Frog Guy games. I'll probably give away Black Oak Dice because Craig was so generous. He said, whatever you need, Jay, just ask and I will be, he will give it to us. So that was really cool of him. So yes, you're back, and you'll be back for a doubleheader on the next 2 Thursdays after that too, which is fantastic. All right, back to the discussion. I sent a little teaser thing to Luke to try to convince him to come on. We got Andrew on, which is great, which is fantastic. So and Andrew,
Luke just got back today.
He's exhausted.
Yeah,
no, they were stuck. They were stuck in the airport. They got back at 1 a.m. They got back like
I got the
morning.
easy one. There was not much lines at all. So it was very smooth for me to get home.
Yeah. I want to say, Mandy, thank you, Sparkles Mandy, thank you for a lot of the help you gave me, helping me, just sending us to setting up, tearing down, all that stuff, carrying stuff back to my room and all. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Because, with a lot of terrain, it went by too fast. Yeah. But Greg Marks was there too, right? There's a lot.
Greg's.
Eric Menke was there, and he's doing all that Forgotten Realms stuff now. He's running those.
Well, Eric back in the day did stuff for what is it, Jeff?
The Feywild. That's when the Feywild started, kind of officially. So definitely.
Yeah, Eric is such a great writer. So it was really it was funny is because David Chris had been running organized play for WotC forever, and his wife actually messaged me once and said, Stephen, David goes to conventions all the time, but it's always work. Do you have a convention that he can go to and just have fun? And I was like, Gary Con. And so I used to get a suite that was on the campus, but off of the main sort of thing. And I brought him in. I even gave him the master bedroom. And I'm like, David, just come and have a good time. And he absolutely did. And because Gary Con I'm sorry, I've had to miss it this year, but
my guess is you won't miss it next year.
I'm hoping.
I don't think you will next year.
I think there will be a room for you there next year.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Oh, by the way, so Anna guys, you got to see this. This is so funny.
Yeah, it just posted on EN World. I popped up in my feed, and I just
This is what we're dealing with.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, there is a reason he posted it though, so you have to tell the story of it.
What the Melf Guide to Greyhawk cover might look like.
Well, don't laugh too much, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That made me laugh.
Yeah. What he done is that they took a picture of Greg Vaughn when he bought the picture on the auction. And that one was taken in terrible light and skewed. So they straightened that up and photoshopped it a bit to look a little better. And that's how this image came to be. So
it's so funny because when did we see it? It had to be almost a year ago.
So
it was about a year ago.
Yes.
Sneak peek, everyone. I've had it on my computer for a year. There you go.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, it's my desktop on my computer.
Yeah,
I have had it for a long time.
We've seen it for a year, and Luke announced at the auction that it was the cover of the new book that in order to raise more money for selling the. Yeah,
it's so funny though.
Bought the original.
Yeah, so Ian, kudos to Ian World. They're not completely out in the woods on this one. one. It's more like they don't have
Right.
a digital image to base it on. They
Right,
just have it. Now they have a better one. So if they go to the YouTube feed of this one and screenshot it, they can update the image
So,
a bit better.
quick sidebar
I
story
mean,
on that. I was
yeah.
going to be that cheesehead that bid $1,000, $2,000 knowing I wasn't going to get it, but I stopped myself because it went so fast. Blah 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 blah.
Oh
Back and
yeah,
forth.
that
You saw
they
that. It was
started at $500.
yeah.
Did
I
they
was like,
start
that's
at
too low.
yeah,
Yeah, and it went
yeah,
up to
and then it was
5,000.
like 1,000 the next
Yeah,
bid, and then it
Tin
started
easily.
go every 100 for like
Yeah.
a minute until $5,000. Yeah.
I own one, well, original piece of an adventure that I wrote, done by what's it? This original painting, right?
Yeah.
And they are amazingly small. Like
Oh
once
yeah,
you get
this
them,
one was probably what could it be
3x5.
yeah,
3x5.
something like
3 by
that.
5,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Or
3x5.
maybe 4 by 2.5 or something like that.
Something like
It was
that.
not that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he held it up in front of him, and it wasn't that enormous. So yeah.
I would have loved to have it. Just like
Mhm.
another thing, Stephen. When I met War Wayne Reynolds at Gen Con,
Oh, Wayne
Gen
Reynolds.
Con,
Yeah.
That's
and I asked him
Yeah.
about all the Slavers artwork, which I love.
Yeah.
I love Marquesa.
Mhm.
I said,
Yeah.
I don't care how much it is. How much is the Marquesa artwork? He's like, it got destroyed. I died inside. He said they
Yeah.
destroyed all of them.
Yeah.
Back then, I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
At least I can happy I say I've seen the original up
Right.
close. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we saw the originals there.
So two funny stories about Wayne Reynolds artwork. So the piece I have, the original piece, is Wayne Reynolds for Queen and Empire, which is Adventure Path I wrote. So for a long time, I knew that Paizo bought all of the original artwork for the covers. And it
Okay.
was just sitting somewhere. And then one day I come into work at Paizo, and they had framed all of it and put it all through the office, like all of this original Wayne Reynolds artwork, which I was
Awesome.
like, wow. And I'm sorry to think now, mostly after the pandemic, because I left Paizo before the pandemic started, they don't have an office now. So I'm like, what
Yeah.
is all work?
Ask Eric. Eric will know where it is. Probably in his
I'm
house.
sure he has a few
It's
pieces
pretty
at home.
cool.
I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of yeah.
So the other thing is the first time that I wrote an art order for Wayne Reynolds, which I've written many of them. Some of them actually won awards. At least one of them won an award, which I was like, yay! Was during fourth edition. It was a dragon adventure called Winter of the Witch, and until until the Melf art went up on there, it's typically my background on it because I just love that piece of artwork. So I asked Wayne once, I'm like, because they told me at that time, hey, you can buy the original from Wayne. It was like $2,000, and it was a little too rich for my blood at the time. And I'm like, I think we're gonna have to pass. And I'm like, Wayne, whatever happened to that original? He goes, I got to tell you a story. I don't like having originals around my house. I don't like looking at my art, which I can, as an artist, I can kind of understand. And he goes, but my wife loves that piece, and so it's one of the few that I've picked. And I'm like, I will never ask to buy that piece of art, even though it's very special to me, just because your wife loves it so much. That's great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, all right, audience, questions. Reynolds do the Illa of the Beetle Swarm Lamia. I don't know. Do you know that?
Yes.
Yes, he did that.
Okay. Yes, he absolutely did that.
So as we're looking for some more questions, we know that and I know Les, you said you had some high level tidbits here. According to this, Melf is now 1414 in 582. And that is Prince Melf, who openly declared himself a knight of Luna, is generally regarded as the leader of those elves who wish to fight evil on the Flannis. Luke knew nothing about this when it first came out, or as late as 5 years ago when we had him on. We asked him that question. He goes, "I don't know anything about it." So this was not his own. This was Sargent taking him into that. And it also says here, and unfortunately, and this is something that I'll poke my eyes out with, that he coordinate with Philidor, and I can't stand Philidor. I don't know about you, Steven, or anyone else, but Philidor drives me. It's a Lord of the Rings blue wizard just brought in, right? Kind of.
Right.
Yeah. So,
I think there are different ways you can play Philidor, but with this, I think that one of the things I was going to suggest there is, well, we know now, don't we, that Mel created an organization before there were the Knights of Luna, if they exist in your campaign.
Yes.
You could very easily have it where these are wannabes and they consider Melf their head.
Great point.
Right?
Yeah.
They were inspired by Melf's other group. They consider him their titular head, but he doesn't really know that much about them or associate with them.
Yeah.
He's doing his own thing.
Because before that, it was the bushy buckler.
Exactly.
Yep. Prof, yes. I know Andrew answered the question as well as he could. Our best guess, I won't even write it in, is the at latest GaryCon next year. That's a guess. Okay. I don't want to say anything. That's
I'm guessing we might hear more at Gen Con.
We may hear a lot more at Gen
Yeah,
Con.
it's easy because I don't know.
But I would assume.
Not a clue. Yeah,
we've discussed it. Our thinking is probably, although again, this is not our end. This is above our pay grade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But our thinking would be something like first quarter 2027.
Yeah, that's a guess. It could
sounds
be earlier.
Plausible. Yeah,
makes
sounds
sense.
plausible, but no one told me.
Fourth
Yeah.
quarter. Just don't know. But I think at latest, there's no way it would not be released at GaryCon next year with all the Greyhawk stuff.
That's a good thing. We can speculate. We can speculate despite NDA because we haven't heard anything about this.
Well, and GaryCon's right in first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. So
absolutely.
Yeah, since the announcement was made here, maybe that's 1
year out. Yeah.
Very possibly. All right. So
Sooner than you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't say that. I haven't started planning yet.
I would love it to be sooner, because then we can start on book 2. And there's a lot of talking here.
To be fair, some of us already have. It's like this material for both books is kind of accumulated in my notes. So
yes, absolutely, got a lot going on with compiling, and there's maps the whole area that she's working on for all of them. Talking about High Folk here. A lot of it is from the Ashes references. Also, he allies with the Fellowship of the Torch, one of my favorite groups of all time. Fellowship of the Torch first appears in the Free Secret box set. Does not mention Melf then, but after their heroism in the wars, then Melf is friendly with the Fellowship of the Torch. That's all it says. Doesn't say anything beyond that, but that's what it says. And Fellowship of the Torch is a huge NPC group with my player character groups that work out of Greyhawk City. So love that too. Let me see other references here. But once again, all it says is level 14. No stats here. His original stats, he has 8 charisma. Does he still have 8 charisma now?
We might bump it up to 10.
You might bump it up to 10. That's up to you, Steven.
Because every time I've talked to Luke about it, he's like, well, he's not very charismatic. And
Right.
I've already played with that. So I'd like to keep it at 8. I think that would be funny. But it might go to 10. 10 is the new 8.
Yeah. For 5th edition it is, right? Yeah, absolutely. Because 8's a penalty, isn't it? 8's a stat penalty.
Yeah, no, 8 is a penalty.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, I have at least one little joke on that.
Yeah, please.
So
in the adventure, he means shitty.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. That's awesome. Okay. Savage said, let's all take a moment and appreciate that Jay survived the NDA. Yes, I did. I did. So
well, and so I'm going to point this out because I remember having a meeting not too long ago where Andrew was all, well, you guys are all under NDA, and I'm like,
we signed a contract, but not
an NDA.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And they quickly sent out an NDA.
Yep.
So extra kudos to Jay because he wasn't under NDA, and he
like he was.
He was. Yeah,
I
that's
survived.
fantastic.
As your attorney, yes, Curtis. But Yeah, there's some other, got a couple other announcements coming, which is wonderful. But all right.
Oh, and by the way, I just want to point out, and I realize
Yeah.
most people here will be aware of this, but there are some people who I've noticed online who aren't. One of the great benefits of having a Jeff Easley painting for a cover is it provides a sense of continuity with the earlier products as well. You have
Yep.
the '83 box set. You have the Greyhawk Adventures book. You've got the Carl Sargent books. You've got these great Jeff Easley paintings on those. This puts that in that context.
Yep. No,
And I think it's important to point that out because I noticed there were some people who either aren't as conversant with lore or whatnot. Also, there's a nice little Easter egg on the cover that I'm not going to blow, but if you look at it at the cover, you'll recognize something very Greyhawkian about it.
Okay,
that's quite the.
Yeah.
So
you might as well say, look closely, kids, because
there you go. Look closely. This.
What?
I'm not going to they can figure it out.
Okay.
Those who know, basically.
Okay.
So here's the funny thing about that continuity. It is very early on in this. I sent Luke some ideas on how we can do this, and I had this whole sort of. So Eric Mona owns the original art for the framing of the box set. I've seen it. It's very pretty and everything else. And I'm like, it'd be kind of cool if we sort of mimic that style because I love that box set. And maybe we could get Jeff Easley to draw a new framing, with maybe some green and make it kind of Melfish and instead of red and blah, 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 blah. And somehow that got and I'm like, I don't know if we could get him to do the cover art in the same way, but Jeff, go talk to Jeff. And then the next thing I know, we have this beautifully rendered painting of Jeff of just the color art. Mm-hmm. And so in some kind of small way, I think I may have at least motivated Luke to talk to Jeff about doing that, which is, I agree with you, Les. That's fantastic. It does create a visual sort of continuity when it comes.
For us, I think it immediately gives the project street cred right off the bat.
Oh
my
yeah.
God, I could easily do the cover. So that was
such a beautiful piece.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're gonna have your naysayers on everything. I had some people say he looks too much like a dark elf, and they're like, no, he doesn't look like a dark elf.
Gray elf.
Yeah, he's gray elf. So, I know it's crazy. It's crazy stuff.
Well, we're not going to get into my opinions on modern.
Do we need an orange spine on it somehow?
Yes.
Yep.
We need an orange spine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need to. That's what we need for. We need Andrew to work on that. So, all right, Mike. Give us another question, Mike.
Oh, geez.
Come on, Mike. What do you want to know?
Let's see. What do I want to know?
Yes.
Well, I take it I started to say you're already working on the second one. Les said he had notes.
Yep.
Yep. So I imagine you already have an outline of the three products because you already were talking about that.
I'm already working on the third one.
Yes.
Yeah. And since Steven's working on adventure stuff across the three, I'm gauging that this is like a little mini adventure path.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so the funny thing about it is we decided to do third level, which immediately made me go, well, where's the first two levels? And so I already I have outlines and some notes for, I have the kind of thing I'm like, you can start it wherever you want. This kind of assumes you're in the world or the city of Greyhawk and then just fast forward to blah. And I'm like, well, what does that sort of passage look like? And so I immediately started doing maps and outlining what those two things. We'll see if those get done. Those aren't necessary. But as far as the other ones, it's absolutely an adventure path.
Exactly.
And
there'll always be room for a prequel. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and they could be like sort of web things or or whatever, or just stupid shit that I talk about when I go on
Or
streams.
or suggestions in the book
Or
saying
suggestions. Yeah.
suggestion for like, hey, this is how you get your characters up to third when it starts, or
But
something.
I kind of like the first the level 1 adventure and the level 2 adventure. I think they're kind of neat.
Yeah.
We'll
So
see.
I'm glad it will be some years of time frame here. So I don't want too tight. Yeah.
Well, that's part of it too, is a release schedule coming up and everything like that. So
Yeah.
that and note that and I think we were up to 3 spotted cows now in the bank. So sorry we're not.
Oh yeah, I will be wasted if we need to have one. Otherwise, I will be sick from overindulgence in next year or 20 or GaryCon 20. I will be wasted the whole convention from spotted cows. I will
He's
never
talking about the
recover.
blood bank. He's got
Yeah.
already got the
Yeah,
the hookup for you.
Yep.
Jeez, now here, Stephen, look at this. So now at the end of in front of the ashes, they have him as fighter 13, wizard 12, and 15 charisma. Imagine goes up 7 points. It's all over the place.
Fake news, lies.
Yeah.
He's got a launcher sharpness +3. That's pretty nasty. Yeah,
He was boosted. He had taken some spells when that person.
All about the Lance of Numa. Here's the Fellowship Torch. So once again, the detail is not deep beyond this. It's not deep. It's all innuendo.
It's Greyhawk has a lot of superficial, not that deep, sprinkled in everywhere. Yeah.
Also, I think that's kind of good. Again, I've said before, I think consider it almost a feature, not a bug.
Yeah.
Because even with some of the stuff I've been working on,
gotcha.
There's more than one version of events.
Oh yeah.
That are in play in the adventure. If you were to ask if you were to ask 3 separate individuals from 3 separate groups about the history of something, there are going to be overlapping points. There are going to be consistencies, but there are going to be massive inconsistencies and observers' bias and everything else at play. And that's kind of the nature of, and plus you've got the fog of war as well, right? Where sometimes you don't always know what's going on.
That's true.
And you're only as good as your intelligence, and sometimes your intelligence operatives are not that on point. So,
that's actually one of, when we were talking about this thing in the very beginning, one of the things that I love about that original box set is the conceit about Puffet Smelger the Elder.
Yep.
Right. And this whole thing that you have a historian who's got some secondary, maybe primary sources, kind of trying to recreate this world. And I know I pitched an idea where the Melf guides are actually written by his relative, the younger, who's just obsessed with this character of Melf, and the fact that really hardcore information about this character is really hard to find. And so he becomes an even more unreliable narrator as he's trying to piece those things together. And I love framing devices like that.
Yeah. There's also along those lines, when we were discussing this at one of the meetings, Stephen, you were there, I think, when I was discussing certain decisions that WotC made may not be what happened in fact.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm specifically thinking about a certain character. LOL.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I have my there's a reason why something happened to a certain character, and it's not what WotC claims necessarily. There's an alternate version.
So back when I was running a lot of Forgotten Realms, and the Volo's guides were out. And the thing that I loved about the Volo's guides is I don't think you can trust this guy to tell the whole truth. And so and
that's a good point.
And so in my home campaign, we ended up making a sort of a ruling thing that instead, when somebody goes, oh shit, I had a +2 on that should have been higher, we go Volo's Law. And Volo's Law was basically, well, if you remember it then it didn't happen. that unreliable narrator sort of thing that you add.
Or it maybe happened, but not the way you remember it. Not entirely. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's dead on, Sparky. The concept of the unreliable narrator is a useful tool to skate around facts. Dead on, because everyone has different perspectives on facts.
As a philosopher, there are no truth values in fiction.
Right. True.
And relative to this, I mean, my minors were poli-sci and philosophy, so you can imagine that fits ideally with this.
Right.
But like I was going to say, also, you have to deal with the possibility that maybe some information that you're being fed is what your enemy wants you to believe.
Oh yeah.
Disinformation and misinformation are types of information. They just aren't necessarily reliable.
MK Ultra is a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is we can have so much fun. There's so much fun to be had with that, and what the characters wind up believing might not actually be the case always, or there might be a conspiracy, or something might be misdirection. Which doesn't at all negate player agency. In fact, I would argue it makes player agency more important. Characters want to do their due diligence.
Yeah, Les, I saw your Discord message. Yeah, I missed it. Wow, and I won't say anything. Wow, pretty cool. All right.
Yeah, I thought that was a neat Easter egg.
Yeah. So, announcement number 2. All right, because Ashdale brought it up. The question: well, will this postpone Altamira forever? No. So, I met with Steven Chenault at GaryCon.
Another great guy.
The solar people are unbelievable, right? Just wonderful, wonderful people. And he's like, Jay, I know what your problem is. It's 150,000 words, and you have stuff written up, but you just don't know how to get from there to the big thing. I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely right. We're going to go into the Troller Patreon, and I'm going to do little pieces of it that I have already written up, and I'm going to elaborate on them, do an adventure, do an encounter, do the NPCs, do a couple of the establishments around it, release that, then release another part, then release another part every month in their Patreon. And it will build that, and it'll get built up that way. Then I may have some extra writers from Troll Lord fill in some of the blanks. We'll get it out that way, and then we'll have it out in a box set down the road. So it is coming, just in a different concept. And I was really grateful that Steven wants this out still. So I'll have that. I'll have the WotC project and the Altamira Troll Lord project going on at the same time. All right, make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, there. So it's on. It's being picked back up. Yep. Yeah, and I think Sparky, that's one of the reasons why. Okay, yeah, it's coming. So first one's going to be a salty dog mystery. Okay, it'll be a first level adventure in the salty dog, of course. So yep. Well, Sparky, it'll all be coming. Just wanted to answer that question that Dale asked. Yeah. So, what other questions do you have, Mike? Do you have any other questions? Mike, thanks for hanging out.
Sure.
We're all BSing.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's good.
By the way,
Yeah, I got a
Gary
question.
Gary's in San Francisco, so he's driving and all. He said thank you for his mention. Because he's got a little piece. Oh shit, I gave it away. Jeez, man, I'm so stupid. Once again, also
Doomed.
giveaways. $25 gift certificate Troller Games tonight, and the last one of these. This is Lakofka Archive number 5. This is an adventure that Len sent to the RPGA, and it never got released. That they found. And the archive, all the writers for the archive and all the producers for the archive did a wonderful job with this. Thank you. I gave a bunch of these out, giving them full credit at GaryCon to everyone live. You got it in the community, but here's one so that those who didn't attend GaryCon, if you already got one, please don't take it. Take a gift certificate instead. Let someone who has not gotten one of these, because there's no more, get this. Okay. So as you sign up, all right, and prefer continental U.S., but Patrick, you're excluded. You're in from Canada. If that's sending it overseas, that's a different story. But it will be on. It should be on Troy's site now. He did a lot of work for it, a ton of it, right, along with all the rest of the crew. And then Anna, it'll be on Anna's site tonight. She said. So it'll be free down.
I have the PDF.
Okay,
I've just got to it. I don't think he has it on. I'm looking at
it
right. Yet? No, I don't think he has it up yet. But here's the link to his site, and I'll check in on my site in a couple hours, and it should be done.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
So that's those would
At
be giveaways.
annabmeyer.com.
And
I'll
like I said,
post
out
the
of all the
link
stuff
there.
I got, the coolest thing I got at Gary Con was this screen and leather. Unbelievable. Yeah. So then this was for like platinum and up badges. But like it's got flaps with inside of flaps. It's got sick. It's really nice. They have black
nice.
ones of these at Tower. What happened to those Tower ones there, Curse and Brett? Did you give them away or do you keep them year to year? Just you'll kill someone with
Hopefully they
this.
got something out of it too. So
Yeah,
there's some
yeah. So,
special ones.
Do you
really
want to
nice.
see what I got at Gary Con, Jay?
What you get?
Oh,
Oh, who, did you get it signed by someone?
No.
Okay.
I remember throwing that thing across the room when I was a kid.
Oh, you sold? They got sold. Okay, cool.
I
Curtis.
think
That's
a lot
good.
of people did when they got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, what in the?
And I already showed this.
Yeah.
This is called Insanity, but I did it. So.
Yeah. Or,
Was it
or
filled with
one pin
Malort?
in the divorce
What's that, Steven?
thingy.
What
Was
that?
it filled with Malort?
No.
No,
so
it was
you,
the auction.
if-
So that's one pin in the divorce agreement for Jay. So yeah.
in order to get this, you need to buy a win at an auction that's $500
Yeah.
or more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's but it was a donation to a good cause. So plus I got a book that no one else has from Ed. His what Making of an Archmage book. The missing chapter is in this book, and it's signed by Ed, and so I couldn't pass up on that. So that was what I got.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a missing chapter.
Yes, there is, and he put it in. He put it in that book, and it's signed. That's signed by him in the book itself. So yes, Curtis, that's
So
what I'm
another
talking
weird
about.
story.
What's that?
My first work for Wizards of the Coast was I was in college and they decided that they were going to try to create a Realms encyclopedia. And they would give you a novel and you had to go through and you either got paid $25 or $25 worth of credit. And you had to go through every single proper name and log it and what the book said about it. I got Elminster, The Making of a Mage.
Nice.
My friend got Murder in Helrua. He had 25 entries. I had like 600 because it's an Ed book. And then they were all like, Stephen, that was a great job. We'd like you to do Spellfire. I'm like, I'm out. Okay. I got finals and papers and I can't do it.
The other fun thing with this is, and I'll throw this out there, I'm not sure whether it'll be within the book or available online, but there is a for those interested in such nerdy things, there is a bibliography with reference to where certain things were drawn from. We want to give credit to the people who came up with some of this stuff. This will also allow people to look and see that we did our due diligence. Here's where we drew something from, and where we disagreed with it, here's how we tweaked it, kind of to get that kind of vibe from it.
Right.
And also, Stephen, I was going to mention something else. I think it's worth mentioning tonight because we really haven't. But with we've talked a little bit about NPCs. We've talked about Melf and everything. I think it's also cool that at least I'm really excited for this. Stephen, you've introduced some really cool bad guys and good guys in your stuff. Friends and foes, allies and opponents. I think that I've introduced some really cracked and interesting characters where if you love your Obmi and your Keck and or Keek, whatever, Keek, that was his name, the kind of minor villains who can nonetheless provide very specific threats to your players at certain levels and develop along with them and become persistent threats. There are some really cool bad guys in here. You'll also get to meet some people who maybe you know from here and there when they were younger and less experienced. And you'll also be able to meet some friends. Huh?
That's some of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Some younger psychopaths.
The players in my my playtesting got to run across some characters who it dawned on them, oh wow, these guys are ... It wasn't over the top. It's never a fan service for its own sake, right? These characters would be involved in this territory doing the sort of thing that I showed them doing, and the players ran into them on a random encounter. And when they realized who it was and where these characters will wind up, there's a depth of meaning to that encounter. But if you're just meeting them for the first time, there were people who fell in love with those characters. So I feel really good and really strongly about that. That we're giving them not, again, as part of the toolkit, you're getting some really cool characters to play with, NPCs.
Beautiful. So note this. Probably, I'm not going to get in trouble for this at all, but thank God. And the number one name in this whole area that my most hated character of all, and it was not mentioned tonight, begins with a Z.
Yeah, we didn't.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'm not going to ruin it for you tonight. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because it really doesn't have a bearing on what we're writing, which is
Yep.
good. And that's what I said. Even in the areas, the regions we're doing, it's not the entire region. This is not a glossography, right? This is a story, and this is the surrounding information that goes into the adventure, with enough that you could build.
And there's some stuff about areas here and there, but that relates to like everything. It's related, and you can do with it what you will.
Yep. Any final thoughts? As we hit that 9 o'clock hour, I guess Luke was not able to hop on, but that's okay. We got Andrew, so all good. So and Lee was ill, and Norker's probably got kid duty of some sort tonight, but I thought he was on in chat. So yeah, Mike, what are your thoughts, man? Oh, do we got cartoons? Oh, we got to do that.
Yeah,
Hold on.
one, just one,
Yes.
just one.
All right, hit the link. Link.
Do you want to see it now?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
All right.
Give us the hookup, brother.
Man. Hold on one second here. Let me go.
One comic back to once a week.
Oh, but it's a cultist, so you
hold on one second.
Yeah.
But you posted some from last week too, didn't you? That we didn't see because we weren't on last week because there was a Gary Con, right?
And Jay, your bandwidth is low.
Right.
So,
yes. Don't click on that
frames.
first one then.
I'm dropping a couple frames. It's okay. It's cleared up. It's cleared up. It's clear.
Oh, good.
Give me a second here. Okay. I got it. It's clear. Dropped a couple frames. We're all right.
Don't click that first one then. Here.
Yes.
There's 32. Read that first.
Yeah, 32. And give us the other one from the
yeah.
Give me that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go over last week's too. Here it comes. We're good.
Under 32 is a good one.
1 second. Oh, it's right under 32?
No, I'm saying my other comic.
There we go. Okay, got it. Okay. So we'll do under 32. We'll do under
Jeremy.
32, and then we'll do the 2 cultist ones. Let's do this one first. Right, here we go. All right. Let's see what we got, Mike. There. Oh, Malithrak. There we go. All right. This is the last week of 2 comics in a row. All right, Mike. So now entering the Void of Despair, the lair of the Shadow Dragon Malithrak. And he does not look happy, does he? Yep. So after the fight and after the separation.
So the Deep Gnome works for that dragon.
Okay.
But everything's gone south. And now he's having to basically show up to his boss empty-handed.
That's not good. That was a cool fight though in the previous ones there. That's nice artwork, Mike. Really great job. Look at the detail and the treasures.
I like doing dragons.
Yeah.
Like I did a dragon. I think I wrote about it in the prelude, but like I did a white dragon in the Castle Greyhawk comic I did with Scott Casper, and I just don't do dragons near enough.
Excellent. Cultist number 32. Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
They're still in the steading of the Hill Giant Chief.
So they're in the hall eating all the giants, right? How bad is it? What do you see? Great guy Texas Ghost. Great hall is 100 feet wide, 80 feet deep, and has a giant table and stool. Chief Nas was there with his wife Gertha and her pet cave bear. I saw Cloud Giant, 3 Stone Giants, 8 Ogres, and about 20 other giants. They're all feasting, laughing, and sighing. Throw a fireball or a cloud claw in there. I don't think they'd notice. Well, I can't defeat that many giants, even if there was an army of me. More than one of you, I'd sooner fight them solo. That's funny, dude. That is funny.
I love doing the lore dumps on those comics.
And this week's
They go deeper into the stone.
So they go underground. Yes, cultists. It's wild that the Giants built a dungeon under their steading. I think it's older than them. I see you took care of the orcs and bugbears down here. Yeah, they were easy to handle. Than the hill giants, it helped that they were already sleeping. Free XP. Yeah, that's that concealed door. That's what we came here for. Barred, bolted, and bricked up. That door is meant to keep something or someone getting out, not in. What? You want to turn back? Are you kidding? Unleashing evils on the world is what we do. That's nice, man.
Yes,
Yes.
they're cultists after all. So
Guess we'll see next week what's behind the door.
oh,
Awesome.
do we? Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yep.
The cultists. Beautiful, dude. Awesome work. Awesome.
I
work.
love those cultists. Are so cool. And I also got one of the cultist buttons. So
Nice.
thank you,
Yes,
Mike.
The button. Yeah, like Curtis said, there was a cultist running around GaryCon. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God. I forgot something. Well, all right. So
forgot
let's do
something?
some shout outs. I'll be right back. All right. Sound
Okay.
good? All right. Be right back.
So can I tell a funny story from the first
Now
time?
you
I
can tell any
introduced-
stories because Jace can't
Be right back.
All
stop us.
right. So Steading of the Hill Giant Chief, first adventure I ever played, went to a birthday party. They threw me a character. I had no idea what was going on. The funniest thing about it is the guys, all about my age, young teen, they kept on throwing their morning stars. And I'm like, what are morning stars? And they're like, what ninjas throw, morning stars. And so they thought that morning stars were ninja throwing stars.
Wow. Nice. Nice.
It takes
So
quite a
of
big backpack, like a big golf bag, if you want to throw them.
Right.
All
you
my
have to-
bugbears are going to
Yeah.
throw morning stars from now
Yep.
on.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
there
your
you go.
bugbears. Yep. Mhm. You have to put
Pull it
like
out their
a
sleeves.
throw. Yeah. There you go.
They thought I was crazy for firing a bow. They're like, morning stars do more damage.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Gary
we have-
Kahn hockey
Ooh.
jersey.
Yeah.
Limited edition.
And-
They had different, depending
And
on
then
your
turn around and show the
Except my name is not L. Scott, so now I'm Lord Scott instead of J. Scott. See,
Lord
there you
Scott.
go.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't think that's what the L stood for.
Yeah, but
Loser.
Brett is really cool because Brett is now Brett Felon. So yeah. Mhm.
Check my Discord for the mic photo. Got it.
Yep. So Brett's
Okay, let me see if I can pull that up,
jersey
too.
was Felon. So
I should
yeah.
be able to bring that up too.
Hockey
Yep.
jersey.
Yep.
If the stream crashes, that's Thurston's doing.
Oh,
I always
okay.
put it in Thurston.
Yeah, you can always blame that for him. It's entropy. Yeah.
Luke just texted me.
Oh, okay. Well, he can come on next week.
Yeah,
And
he can always,
or on
he can come-
Sunday.
or Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah. All right.
works.
Hold
Yep.
on one second
Mhm.
here, Curtis. Let me save this. Mike. Yeah. That's a good picture. Mike, you look really disturbing in that picture. You really do. You look disturbing.
Only on special occasions.
Yeah. This is good. This is good.
Mike shows off his inner cultists at times. So
Let me
yeah.
share this. Let me share
All right, all
this.
right.
That's a good pick. 1 second here. Normally, I'm dodging bullets here, not crashing the stream, doing all the open.
Well,
having too many
it's
windows open.
past time anytime
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
So if you crash now, it's okay.
Oh my
Yep.
God, this is hot. Holy jeez.
Uh-oh.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, it is hot. This is just Jersey on. All right, there you go, Mike. Look, there's Rob. Rob's in the
Nice.
picture, Phantom.
Rob
I know,
is
yeah.
he's the new leader of the cult.
There you go. So there you go. Wearing your cultist outfit there. Nice.
Oh,
See,
there
I
you
was
go.
Oh,
running a
look
game
who's
next.
next to you DMing over
Yeah,
here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tim.
look at that.
So Jay, you did you were there for 2 hours, but you didn't see.
I did 4 hours. Yeah, that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was running a game next to Jay and Stronghold Tim, and so I had to
Mhm.
kick it up a notch.
Awesome.
it was all
Yep.
fun. We had a good time. See you, Mike, next. Yep, absolutely. So thanks, Mike. Les, you good on shout outs while I got changed there? Oh my God, I'm
Yeah,
glad I didn't have to wear this
that's
full
all.
2 hours. I'd be sweating my something off.
I'll probably be getting back into my Parentland campaign in a week or two, so
Cool.
then we'll have new updates.
So, Mike, when
Good.
this comes out, you're going to run this? Think with the guys, a new one?
They might have to start new characters because we're like up to 13th level.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, you're going to have to start whole brand new characters. Yeah, absolutely. Stays in Chicago, but didn't make it to Gary Con. That's a shame, Dale. It would have been great if you would have just driven up for a day, because you could have just walked in and hung out a little bit. It wouldn't have been a big deal. So, Anna, did you do your shout outs yet?
No, I haven't done
What do you
many. First, I have a huge sorry to everybody because I had to cancel my game and I had to cancel my participation in Tower of Gygax because I was definitely not up for it.
You were gravely ill, Anna, so it's
yeah,
it's
I was
okay.
that hit me just when I recovered enough to that I could on Saturday could have my seminar on Saturday and it was only 2 hours and I didn't have to be close to anybody, so I could keep a little bit of distance. So that worked out. But I'm going to make it up. So I'm going to run online sessions to compensate for the game. So I will send out invites to everybody involved in that. And
Oops, I just dropped my drink. You're
yeah.
all right.
And then and also I will be on Flux Fantasy something festival online. Yeah, on tomorrow. At 3 o'clock something. Yeah, I'm going to have talk. They wanted to talk to me, so and they scheduled before this, so it has nothing to do with Melf's guide or anything like that. Because it was I talked to the guy ran it like a month ago. We were on a Patreon get together, so he wanted me there to talk about maps a little bit. So that's coming. Yeah. So I will also start after I've had my sessions, the session that got lost at GaryCon. I will start doing other play sessions online as well. So start scheduling them. I will also schedule another GIS like a workshop. I'm going to set up a time so we can schedule that for coming up. So yeah, those, and also there will be a mapping stream on Friday. So yeah, that's the shout outs that I barely managed to recover enough and got my suitcase unpacked here. So, and also La Kafka archive, I'll try and fix that tonight, so the module will be uploaded there, the new one.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Stephen, what do you got going on, man, beside all this? You got a lot more.
I was just telling a stupid story about morning stars when everybody
that's cool.
That's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Cool. Now, yeah, did you go through all your slides, or you cancel that too?
No, I went through the slides, but I'm going to I'll post on my blog and stuff and set up a time. We'll see if maybe I should do that this Friday. Yeah, I should probably do that this Friday. So
that'd be a smart move.
I'll do that this Friday. So, and I'll post that tomorrow too, and people have a chance to do it. So get on there. So so Friday 6 p.m. on my Twitch channel. And everyone. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. No game tomorrow night. Normally on Thursdays, taking it off, going to the Phillies game, opening day, and then but Saturday all female cast, and they're all fantastic with Tiffany and Amanda and Cherry and Bella and Myriad. It's gonna be great. It'll be the third adventure with that group. And we're going to take them out in the water. We're going to take them down the Jewel, past Wales Castle, out into the Azure Sea, out into the Principality of Ulick, Southern Principality. There'll be a mission down there, and that'll be a great one. And that'll be Thursday, and then on Sunday. The next 2 Thursdays will be a doubleheader event, 2 weeks. Have a lot of special guests. Tiffany's playing in it. We'll get that group together over the weekend.
Yep.
All right. Gavin, we'll do more GaryCon talk. I'm going to ask some of you to come on with your experiences, if you're available on Sunday. Okay.
Yes, Armin, I'm alive and I've recovered fairly well. So
Armin has this. Armin got one of these back in New Zealand. Armin, oh no, that's right. You're in Chicago first, right? You're doing work in the US.
He's going to
very cool,
awesome places.
So
if he gets back,
actually, Armin reminds me. Again, I wanted to give another shout out, a final shout out to those brave souls who at virtual Greyhawk Con participated in my early playtests
Yeah, that's
of
cool.
some of this stuff. It's great of them to join, and we'll see what happens this year. Hint, hint.
Yeah, more play. Yes, we'll be playtesting a lot. I mean, we have to. That's
Yeah.
why I playtested the class at GaryCon. You know, because it's a great. That's actually a real in this book. Right, it's a
Yep.
good class. It's a good class in this book. It is for 5th edition, 5.5. It's a good class. So the banner in here. So you know, if you're interested, it's in here.
Admit it. You're warming to it, Jay.
I'm warming to it because I actually saw what it could. It saved.
Yeah.
Chris isn't on, and I didn't see him. But it saved their ass. It did. It did. It's got a group. It's got an area effect heal at 3rd level. So
Yeah.
his second wind, it heals himself, but he heals 2 other party members.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of fits what we're looking for in
Yeah.
the order that we're working on. So all right,
it's sometimes this is what we're looking at, right? With the stuff is it won't be identical, okay?
Right.
But you can capture some of that same flavor and spirit.
Exactly, and then we'll just figure out. We may keep the class to say make these changes level 3, level 7, or whatever, and that'll be it. So
Now comes all the spoiler, guys. So keep talking, Jay.
Yeah,
This is fun.
Ready? Here we go. Let's call exclamation point drawing. Get in here, and first winner will get this. Second winner will get a $25 gift certificate to Controller Games. We're going to raid into someone who was at GaryCon. We're going to raid into Korg the Mighty. Okay, Korg's on. We're going to raid into Korg tonight. All right. Korg is a great guy. Plays in my games regularly. Really cool. A young kid.
Sure. I think you're up to something. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
That's not happening, Dale.
There were 2 miracles happening at GaryCon. One that Jay promised to play a Theater of the Mind game, and the second one I forgot what it was because I was getting sick. But it was.
I mean, every time I talk to Jay, he's just like 5.5 is the shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was so funny because Jay wouldn't get his terrain, so we said, now he has to go Theater of the Mind, and we said that, and then there was something about 5e too that he was. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's see who wins this. The last available hard copy of Embassy to the Pale by Lukavka Archive, and thank you all those that participated in doing this. It means a lot to the community that you did this, and we're all very grateful. The winner is Moose. All right, so this is going to
awesome. Congratulations.
It's going to upstate Michigan. And then the $25 gift certificate is Scala. Gotchas. Okay. No problem. Scala, I'll put it in your Discord. So Moose, grats. I think I got your address, but if you want to resend it to me, you can. Grats on that. And Steven, thanks for coming on, man. You gotta have you on more.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Come on, whenever.
Great guest.
Well, whenever I have time.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And
around this homestead.
Yeah, it looks like you got a lot of paints in that background too, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my painting table.
Yeah, very cool. Yes,
and my scriptings that I'm working on.
Thank you all for coming on. Les, thanks. We didn't talk about a lot of deep lore about Melf because we didn't need to, but there's more, right? There's stuff.
I was going to say we skipped the
Mike, thanks for asking those questions and sharing like you always do. All right, we're gonna everyone stick around, say hi to Korg. He's a good guy. He plays the monk game regularly. He plays the worst monk in the history of Greyhawk, right? Maram Soramir. He's dual class, 3rd level. He's technically 25% orc, but he qualifies as a human. 3rd level fighter, 8th level monk in my game, dual class. Yes, so it's a comedy character. Plus, there's a couple others. We'll see you all. Saturday morning. All right. Have a good one. Let me hit the wrong button. Dun, 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 dun. I probably will. All right, there we go. We raid into Korg. See, I did hit the wrong button on here, but one second. Raid, export. Build it up, see if we can get over 75. That'd be awesome. Cool. 66. We'll live with that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you Saturday.
Bye.
Hey.
Make sure I went. Set the fade here. Boom.
Yep, 67. Yep.
Look at the look on his face. That's awesome. Soft